Every delivery's been darted in.
Just doesn't want to give Kennard Lewis an opportunity to free those long levers. You've seen him hit so many sixes down the ground. So it seems to be okay, letting him try to hit square on a quicker delivery, rushing onto him.
And for Xavier Marshall, we spent a lot of time talking about Lewis, but Marshall himself hasn't had the best of seasons, been in the runs, but a strike rate of 70. So it's been tough on those surfaces on the eastern coast, but hasn't had as much success. Again, this is good bowling, and you take this if you're the Fire, because you haven't broken this partnership, but they've only hit the 2 boundaries.
I think it's good for Xavier Marshall to get him some time in the middle. Hasn't spent a good amount of time there this season. You mentioned tough surfaces up in the northeast, and has never allowed him to get in any flow. So for Xavier Marshall, just to find some rhythm, keep this partnership going for some of the bigger bats in that middle like Edgerton Singh.
Yeah, what's Jones thinking about from the other end? Don't think he'll go back to dry because of how important he is. We'll see. End of the 4th, 18 for none. Bit of discussion. In the end, Aaron Jones has opted for Atinja Subramaniam. Young man, been with this Fire team now for the 3 seasons. Did play an important part in them getting to the finals last season. Tough for him to bowl at Kennard Lewis as well. A lot of pace bowling from that forest end, and the majority of spin bowling from the highway end. And we'd mentioned he does have options. Taylor, Obas Pinar for left arm spin. Jay Patak, who's bowled some medium pace in the middle overs specifically. So it will be Subramaniam.
Well, Subramanian said couldn't quite believe when his first minor league delivery was to Kennard Lewis. Full circle moment for him. Been bowling to him with a chance to get to the finals on the line.
Again though, if you look at the line that they've bowled, should be an easy 2. Oh no, they've opted for 1, and now they get the 2. But if you look at the line, Aman, that they've gone to Kennard Lewis, everything has been wide of that off stump. Haven't straight to straight, especially for the seamers who have been very full. And they would have had him off strike. Instead, he gets 2, and another chance for him to attack.
Yeah, and I think Subramanian offers a good opportunity to use the surface. Again, similar to maybe a Laksh Parakh, which we saw of using the length and using the cutters, using the surface. And I think what we can see from Subramanian here is to do just that, especially with the big Kennard Lewis.
He sacrificed some of that power in his first 10 deliveries. Just observe things out there, acclimatize, because whether it's the power play, whether there's 5 feeders or 2 on the boundary, it doesn't really matter too much, Aman, because of the power. He's a smart cricketer as well. He'll be able to use the wind, use the shorter side. Because usually you can tend to see him trying to go hard and missing out. The intent hasn't been there. He's been happy to rotate strike.
Yeah, and again, I think it just comes from a situation where the Cavaliers are also trying to figure out this surface as well. We've seen 150 be tough to get to, and so if you can just climb your way there with one big partnership, just can change the game. Jamar Hamilton now up at the stumps.
Yeah, that's another. Keep talking about it. The illusion, that indecision. Saw a few batters actually today go down the pitch trying to get close to the seamers, anticipating that pace off. Allows the ball to do a bit more off the surface. Nicked, but no slip in place. Yeah, so far though, I mean, if you would have said for the Fire to lose the toss, they've both 28 deliveries, only conceded 22 runs and just 2 boundaries inside the power play. Keep harping on how important it is to maximize the first 6. Athletics in that previous game got 52 in the first 6. It proved to be so instrumental in that run chase.
You know, just never easy to bat, especially with the spin attack that you do have with the Fire. Trying to maximize with the fielders less.
Takes him on this time. Simmons under it, and Simmons takes it. Youngster Subramaniam. That is a huge wicket for him and for the Fire. Lewis gone.
Well, there you go. You mentioned it. Trying to go outside the off stump consistently. Does it yet again. And Kennard Lewis, even with the wind, the pace off, unable to get all of it. Just found the waiting hands of Lendl Simmons. Take a second look. Subramanian not going away from the plan. Cutter outside the off stump. Drags it to the leg side. And Lendl Simmons makes no mistake. The first wicket falls for the Somerset Cavaliers. For Subramanian, that's got to feel good for him. Hasn't had the same type of wicket success. 8 innings, 7 wickets coming into the day. It's been a touch more expensive than in years past. The run rate, actually been an economy rate of just under 8. But to get Kennard Lewis that first wicket after being brought into the side, back into the side, just proves his value as Syed Abdullah walks into the middle.
Syed Abdullah got a 50 yesterday in that win against the Philadelphians. Already made it look like he was batting on a different surface. I was actually against the Lightning. 51 from just 28. Struck out over 180. So if he can replicate something similar in terms of the dominance, we give them that impetus they need at this stage. The Cavaliers. What an over this has been though. Young Subramaniam continues to get better as we go through the tournament. End of 5, 22 for 1. We've seen 2 overs of spin from Aponzo from this highway end. Will be a third. And straight mid wicket still in place. Back foot. That looks dead. Not out, says the umpire. Was the arm ball went on. Straight on. And given not out. Aman Patel, put on your umpire's hat.
Well, we're just going to want to take a second look at this replay here. Again, moves across the stumps. No, he does. Yes, he does. Right there. I guess the one question would be, where would the impact be? Was it maybe a touch high on that back foot? Only decision that matters is the umpire. He says not out.
Yeah, that one, you talk about the two-pace surface. That one really skid on. He's a lucky man, Marshall.
Might be lucky in terms of that decision, but unable to find runs so far, Xavier Marshall. Just 5 of them. From his first 13 deliveries, and nothing really convincing yet off the bat.
Yeah, because this fire team have so many options. Pinyar, more left arm spin. Nasser Hussain, who's bowled some overs. Pathat, who will come in with medium pace, take pace off. They can afford to give Aponzo another over, especially to close out the power play.
When he's bowling like this, why not? Sometimes if it's not broke, you don't fix it. Yes, you want to save overs for later, but Xavier Marshall clearly not comfortable. New man inside Abdullah. You can just do this. Now, you just keep that pressure on after the wicket falls.
Yeah, it tells you about his quality though, because you seen that game yesterday. He bowled the 15th, 17th and 19th over. 3 of the toughest overs to bowl in a T20 game. Now 3 overs in the power play a day later. Mentioned in that first game, man, quality spin in conditions like this can be a huge difference maker. Now he's got a straight catching fielder behind the bowler, directly behind the bowler. Interesting in his aggressive field placing, but another good over from Aponzo, 1 from it. He's just conceded 7 in his 3, 23 for 1. Subramanian continuing for his second. And the fire yesterday against that Lightning side, it was such an important win. Similar situation, chased a low total. They got to that 120 and pretty much have put themselves in a great position to qualify for their second final in 2 seasons.
And again, they've done it so far without anything real at the top of the order. They've struggled with the bat up there, but it's been the bowling that's been so good this season. Not just that, but then that middle order has been so good as well. They've tried different options up top, but the one thing that's remained consistent is just the bowling. Even without Jeremy Gordon in today's 11, who's been a part of this side all throughout the season, opening the bowling, you can still see them put so much pressure on the Cavaliers early.
Yeah, still 2 boundaries. Just 2 boundaries in the first 6.2 overs. Interested as well that they've left out Venu Kalayan Madi Reddy. Was able to get 3 yesterday in that game. Went for the extra spinner today in Palash, who bowled some part-time off spin and can bat as well.
Yeah, Madi Reddy, 7 wickets across his week here in the playoffs. Brought in, of course, with Gordon's absence and left out today.
Work for Simmons. Does well in the end. Yeah, something's going to have to give here though, Amin, because they've got Gajanan Singh, they've got batting to come. Still only going at 4 runs and over.
When does that big shot come out? Especially for Xavier Marshall. Just 1 run from the last 6 balls he's played. He's 6 from 17.
Now Marshall's limping as he gets to the other end, so not sure if he has an injury that's just plaguing him, but doesn't look himself. Usually he's someone that looks to go after the bowling. 10 from 20. Strike rate this season has been 70, so it's been a struggle for him across the board.
And again, you can understand that when you're playing at those services up northeast in Mercer County. They've been tough to bat on. That's been the trend, but on this surface, we've seen batters be able to, like Milan Kumar, bat near 150 to 200. Marshall's calling for something, and it seems like there's something wrong with the shoe. Again, his foot is out of his shoe, holding the back of that ankle. And it looks like they're getting some replacement shoes on for Xavier Marshall.
Yeah, maybe struggling. I think the umpires told him after the over, so running will continue. Just 2 deliveries to go. Hit on the back foot again, this time given. Trying to go across the line, Abdullah. Finger went up belatedly, but it went up. Another one goes down for the Cavaliers.
Into the 11, into the wickets. That seems to be the story with the team, this Romanian. Whether he's with the US Under-19 team or here with the Atlanta Fire. Second look at this. It's hit high on that front pad, but he's leaning back. Looks awfully close. We had one turn down, and Emilio Ponza's over this one. Finger goes up. Inside Abdullah after an explosive innings yesterday. He's got to go cheaply.
USA international Gajanan Singh comes to the middle at number 4. Yes, team in not the best of positions. Going at 4 runs and over. They've already batted 9 overs. And the addition of Subramaniam has been a great one for this Fire side. He's a big contributor last season in that finals run. Spent some time away from the team with the Under-19 squad nationally.
Again, just has this healthy knack of taking wickets since 2021 when he joined this Fire side. Was so prolific and has just become a staple. Again, wasn't part of the team first couple of days here, but now that he's in Prairie View, Texas, they said, yep, you're straight in and straight on. Xavier Marshall, after the wickets, gotten himself the new shoes and still looks to be in a great deal of discomfort, Nico.
And now outside the power play, so he's allowed 5 outside the circle. Currently he only has 4. Now he has the 5th one. Fine leg goes back to the boundary. So Jones, who plays a lot of cricket with Gajanan Singh, much like Stephen Taylor, they will know the importance of getting this wicket. Because still with Marshall in the middle, you've got Sean Finlay to come. You still can go big, still can get to 150, 160 from here. Mid on up in the circle. Yeah, not wasting any time. He's seen enough, Singh. Much needed boundary to end the over. 33 for 2 after 10. After 7, correction. Another spin option for the Fire, Nasser Hussain. First season was 2022 with the Atlanta Fire. Decent returns. Came in for the last 3 games, got 5 wickets, 8 apiece. This year, he hasn't bowled as many overs, but he's still picked up 10 wickets, and then he's only bowled 2 overs since coming to the Super League. But today, with Gajnan Singh left hand at the crease, Stephen Taylor and Nasser Hussain could have a bigger role to play. He was preferred Taylor yesterday over Hussain. Today, Hussain gets the nod before him.
Yeah, and again, what he does differently from Milapanto is much quicker through the air, so it gives a little bit more flight. That's the batter's reach for much more your conventional spinner.
Yeah, Marshall is still struggling though. You can see it there. He's limping, not taking singles. The fact that he's now consumed 21 deliveries for just 10. Not sure how much this knock is helping the Cavaliers.
With all those bats to come in the dugout, you just have to imagine. I just need to hit your way out of it.
Think he does well. Subramaniam does well to save that. He's really struggling though, Marsh. I don't know how much longer he can continue. Got a change of shoes in between the overs.
It's that right ankle of his. He was holding it whilst he was waiting for those shoes. He took his pad off of it, and that's what's causing a great deal of discomfort.
Again, has to set up for 1 because he's struggling. Yeah, one thing, I look at that first game we had here at pitch of field 6. They got 52 in that run chase. Things dried out. Surface got a touch better than Athletics. But they also went at 8 runs and over in the middle phase. That will be something for Gajnan Singh to take into account. Right now, need to go a lot better than that if they want to get 150. It's such a slow start.
Well, Gajnan Singh is the man you want to steer the ship. Just ask the USA national team. Back against Ireland in 2021. 16 for 4. The US were in the power play, and then he comes in, scores 65 to steady the ship in a match-winning innings. And he's going to need to do something similar against Fire.
Man out in the deep, but he can only watch. This has been a complete contrast of what we've seen. 2 deliveries, 2 boundaries from Singh.
He's not waiting for it, Gajnan Singh. He's found a liking to the first 2 balls he's played. This one, for a moment, you thought would just hang up. Maybe a bit of assistance by the wind, but got all of it. No chance for deep mid-wicket. Big 6.
Yeah, this is smart batting though. Very smart, because shorter side with the wind. Backed himself to take on that mid-wicket fielder. This time the line is a lot better, a lot wider. Still though, a few more of these overs, you're on track. End of 8, 43 for 2. Into the middle phase, Jay Pathak will come into the attack. Pulls a lot of his overs, all of his overs pretty much in this phase, because the ball quite old now, a lot softer, will just try to take pace off. He's got a few of those variations in his arsenal. Keepers up to the stump. Even though the last 2 overs have gone for 20, Aaron Jones will be loving this. His team have kept powerful Cavaliers batting lineup to less than a run a ball. Sorry, I'm on Marshall still at the non-strikers, then struggling.
Jay Pathak does well, similar to Subramanian. He's going to look to be in the wicket.
Put down. Nasser Hussain, that was the chance. It was Singh as well. And it's another boundary for Gajanan Singh.
Well, you knew straight away that Pathak was going to go into the surface, and he had packed that region behind point for that reason, for that very shot. I was a little high on Hussain, but at this level, you're going to say he should have taken that one. Not only does he not take it, add insult to injury, trickles all the way to the boundary for 4.
Now that could be so costly. Just given the way that Singh has gone about things. He continues like this, bats maybe just 20 deliveries. Could be a real difference maker for this Cavaliers side. Finally just one.
Yeah, and even with that misfield, there's really no opportunity for 2. Not with the way Xavier Marshall is hobbling around at the moment. You're not going to expect him to come around for 2 and try to push the ante. So it's going to be difficult for Gajanan Singh and Xavier Marshall to really score without those boundaries.
A long off, long on, deep cover, square leg and mid wicket in front of square, that square leg fielder. Yeah, again, Marshall struggling.
And on another day, that's 2, Nikhil. On another day, that's 2, but again, just something to watch for. How many runs are you going to leave on the board? And I think Xavier Marshall at some point is just going to start throwing all of his hands at it, because you can't run out there in the middle on a surface that's on a ground that's been tough to score boundaries on. You end up doing your team more harm than good.
Yeah, and I wonder if he goes back to Hussain for that next over, or maybe Stephen Taylor. Taylor bowled really well yesterday, was stump to stump, economical, went at just 3 runs per over, so Gajanan Singh has already shown he'll take him on. Bit of deviation off the surface that time.
Pathak's been good. Again, anytime he's been given an opportunity, he hasn't been given many. When he gets out onto the pitch, he's just shown an innate ability to be accurate, and I think that's what the Atlanta Fire want. And with that bowling lineup early in the season, they had the express pace, the bounce. What they needed is someone, especially in the absence of Subramanian when he was on with the U.S. Under-19 team, someone to do exactly this, be accurate.
Yeah, they will miss the extra pace of Jeremy Gordon, who's obviously with that Canadian national team. What he did well at the beginning of the season was, in these quiet times where not really getting a wicket, troubled batters with that shorter delivery specifically, would set 2 fielders behind square, fine leg backward square, and get players out hooking. So they missed that skill set. Continues to be such a gem to have in your T20 teams. You see it in World Cricket, Norkia, Lockie Ferguson, Alzari Joseph. And Marshall still yet to hit a boundary. 15 from 25. Ends the over. 51 for 2. Into the 10th over, it is Stephen Taylor who comes into the attack. Left-handed Gajanan Singh in the middle. Interesting selection of ends though, because when Singh comes on strike, his offside, where the ball will be spinning to, is a much smaller side.
For Xavier Marshall now, the question is going to be, can you find that boundary? How do you attempt to score runs against Stephen Taylor? You brought up how tight he was yesterday. Something he's been his national career. Bowling in T20 internationals, an economy of 5.14, and just, again, has added this layer. Wasn't always a bowler, Nico. Started his career off as a wicketkeeper bat, but gave up the gloves and has turned into a useful spinner.
He's a point of difference as well to a Nasser Hussain because of the trajectory in which he delivers. Much higher release point. Hussain is a lot more horizontal, so naturally Taylor will get a lot more bounce. And he caused problems yesterday against the Philadelphians. Ball's just sticking in the surface. Catches going to the close fielders. Very similar run-up and approach to someone like an Ashley Nurse. Aman, the way Taylor approaches the crease. He's been useful all-rounder for this Fire team. Now, this is the matchup. What field does he have? Point comes in the circle, deep cover, long off, and 3 deep on the onside. Cuts the first. Should be a couple. Yeah, it is in the end quite easily.
And good to see Marshall a little bit of push for 2, but with Taylor and his length, you're not going to expect him to see him be full, especially to Gajnan Singh, who's going to look to go down the ground, play those sweeps. He's going to use that bounce on the length. Just keep Singh on the back foot. Try to make him hit into the wind on the offside.
Chance again. Not taken. It's the second time they've created an opportunity. This one much harder though. Another boundary for Singh.
Just wide of that point fielder. You saw it again. Gajnan Singh looking to hit square the boundary. With that length that Stephen Taylor's bowling. Just evading that man at backward point.
Halfway stage, 59 for 2.
Ten overs gone, 59 for 2 as Jay Batak comes back. First over was good. Just gave up 8 runs and Gajnan Singh will be on strike. Batak nearly had his wicket in the previous over. And this one, the inside half of the bat, get one out to fine leg. Again, for Gajnan Singh, he's looked to be aggressive early on. First 2 balls led to 10 runs, 2 boundaries off of him. But for Xavier Marshall, it's been the complete opposite story. Struggling with a lower leg injury. Seems to be the ankle, and it's just led to him not being at his fluidest best self. Just one into the leg side, and from here just 60 runs on the board. Somerset Cavaliers are going to have to do something drastically different in this last half of the game.
Yeah, usually if you're in this position as a team, you're thinking 10 and over. 8 wickets in hand. These two in the middle. However, given this surface, probably think 10 and over is a bit challenging. So can you get 80? 80 from the last 10 takes you to about 140. If you aim that high, then you potentially can get that 150 mark, which seems to be just enough.
It'll be 4 this through fine leg. You mentioned just enough runs. This was just enough bat on it to get it through past Jamar Hamilton.
Yeah, Gajnan Singh looked like he's batting on a different planet. This is what we've seen, and it does tell you that runs are on offer. Yes, we talk about the surface being tough, but you have a batter come in and score at 200 plus strike rate, that is, tells you that there is options and opportunities to score.
Doc's going to want to be much wider. Can't be that straight. Bashundhara's so good off his pads. Better there. Good work off his own bowling. As you mentioned it, Nikhil, from this stage you'd sense that teams want to get to 10 and over. And with the Gudgeon in the middle, seems like that might be possible. But we haven't seen another bat out there through these 2 days who've made batting look this easy on this surface. Lovely shot this from Gajnan Singh. There was early movement whilst Pathak was running in and just helped himself over fine leg. Pick up 4 more.
Yeah, very smart cricket and predictable now. Pathak with that length knows he's going to be into the pitch. Fine leg was up in the circle. He's very aware. Gajnan Singh, this is some innings. Talk about getting them back on track. I wonder how costly that drop chance could be. Put him down when he was on 10. Already he's got to 29.
And that delivery once again just too straight, but the fielding usually for the Fire so good. Point to note, but that drop proving to be costly. And it feels like if the Cavaliers want any chance of getting a big total, it's going to be on the backs of Gajnan Singh. 11 overs gone, 69 for 2. Down the ground, down. And a painstaking stay at the middle comes to an end.
Yeah, we're going at over 10 since that power play, and Marshall, who's struggled all innings, clearly has an injury, unable to run, trying to find the boundary, but goes across the line and dismissed. He's gone for 22. Cavaliers 75 for 3 now.
that dismissal of Xavier Marshall could just be what New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers needed in terms of he was just not striking the ball like his usual self today. As Sean Findlay comes out into the middle. Findlay showed some good signs in their matchup against the Atlanta Lightning yesterday, closing out the innings nicely. Now I have to bat alongside Gajnan Singh, holding things on for the next 8 overs.
Yeah, it was a huge wicket though, because just thought maybe that first maximum was a start of carnage to come from Marshall. He hasn't done it this season, but we've seen him several times in his international career be able to up the ante with a flick of a switch. So another big wicket for the Fire to get. How does that affect Gajnan Singh and his tempo?
Shout straight away, given straight away. Findlay saying there's bat. The question's going to become, was it pad first or bat first? The umpire agrees it's pad, and Findlay first ball, and he's got to go.
Yeah, Taylor was so convinced. He was convinced that it just brushed the pad on the way through to the bat. Findlay is dejected. He can't believe it, but it's 2-2. Again though, Taylor offering a different trajectory, a much higher release point. We'll need to see that again. But nonetheless, Findlay has to depart. 4th wicket down, 75 for 4.
Yes. Here's a second look at it, Nick Hill. Umpire's hat's on you now.
Yeah, it looked like pad first, so it seemed to be a good decision. Nonetheless, trouble now for the Cavaliers. Singh is still there, but in at number 6 comes Patel.
Sunny Patel showed off some strokes yesterday. A leading run scorer for the Cavaliers, and he's known for what he can do stabilizing the innings. It's that situation. But right now, I'll focus on Stephen Taylor because he's on a hat trick. And we've already seen Aaron Jones be aggressive with the field set. I had to wonder what he has in store for this hat trick delivery. Slip in place and not as aggressive as I would have thought, Nico. We've seen that straight mid-wicket hat trick ball.
Yeah, how much is Jones thinking about going for it here? Seen him play some aggressive cricket as captain. Cornet drives a man that he's gone to a lot in this tournament to pick up a wicket. Currently standing at long on. He bowled his 2 very cheaply in the power play. Can he go back to him from that Forest end where he bowled well from trying to get Singh out? Is he happy to continue with Patat? Patat's last over went for 10.
Could also be a case where you look at it at Thinder Subramanian as well. All questions to be answered with 1 delivery left in this Stephen Taylor over. It's been so good, Stephen Taylor. Wasn't part of the side for a while in the CPL. Member of Jamaica, but since coming back, he's had some good contributions with the bat, and yesterday with the ball was tight, today changing the game. Gajnan Singh getting it into the gap, getting it for 4. A good over, ruined at the end. Once again, Gajnan Singh pulls him away for 4 runs.
Yeah, amazing really. I thought it was just tucked into the onside for 1. But Gajnan Singh, the middle of his bat, I'm not sure where he bought it or got it from, but I think I need to get myself one of those. It raced off the bat. Yeah, food for thought for Aaron Jones. 80 for 4 after 12.
Well, Nico, we talked about Pathak, we talked about Cornet Dry, maybe even a Subramanian, but it's a new bowler altogether. It's Obis Pinar, who was very good on this surface just 2 days ago, and was the arm ball that he was able to take a lot of the wickets that he took with. Picked up a handful, and now in this pressure situation, won't be easy for Sunny Patel with another left arm spinner.
Yes, similar to Taylor, tall man. He's had success with ball in hand in this tournament, very quick. Interesting to see if he changes that pace today on a different surface. How did that miss the off stump?
Again, you can see him using that straighter one. Something that he's worked on and used a lot more in these conditions. He's, again, someone who likes to turn it away, but has understood this surface and what it has in store for him. Cut nicely. Work to be done for cover. We'll do it. I'll come back for two.
Yeah, that time much slower. I understand the thinking. You've got a right-hander. Surface offering variable bounce, get the taller man in, but Cornet Dry was extremely hard to bat against. Is Jones bold enough to go back to him? You mentioned Subramanian, not a bad shout either. I just want to know with this older ball, I want to see how it reacts to the pace. Because Pathak, yes, he bowls a bit of medium pace, but not really a lot of difference in terms of the pace he bowls compared to maybe a Pinar.
And I think also something Aaron Jones would look at was how Sunny Patel scored his runs against the Atlanta Lightning. The majority of it coming to pace. Maybe not the pace of a Cornet Dry, but was able to find and hit Neve McNally, even Dexter Sween for runs. And so maybe thinking and opting to slow things down, not letting him just use the pace of the ball. But this is your matchup here, Nico. Obis to Gajanan.
Down the leg side, the umpire says. Hard to tell from this angle, we're not directly behind.
Can't quite believe it. Jamar Hamilton, Obis Pinar. Umpire said it looked like it was going, he said it going down leg. Obis can't quite believe it. Challenging the umpires both sides today. Asking some tough questions. Well, you've seen the length Pinar wants to bowl to Gajana. Nothing in that hitting arc. Keeping things on a good length, and if he's going to want to sweep, has to reach for it. Just like that time quicker. Gets through Gajnan Singh to close the over. A good one, just 3 runs coming from it. 83 for 4. Stephen Taylor took 2 wickets in his previous over, and he's back with the ball in hand, operating from the same end. It almost looks like he might get 4 on the trot here.
I think there was bat on it. Always tough under edge, even for Jamar Hamilton, who's one of the best keepers in this tournament.
Not only one of the best, Nick, but one of the most expressive. Never going to be a dull moment with Jamar Hamilton behind the stumps.
Yeah, the fortunate thing for Jones, and good running again as they come back for 2. He will think about his team winning this game and getting to Dallas on Sunday for the final. And they've got so many different horses for courses. Dalek today can go spin heavy. Sina Ponzo, Pinar, Taylor, Nasser Hossain. But if they turn up on Sunday, Aman, and you see that live green grass that we've grown to expect at the Grand Prairie Stadium, you can bring back in Malu Reddy, you've got Subramaniam, you've got Dry. So it's one of the most versatile attacks in the tournament.
Yeah, when you think of the Atlanta Fire, you've thought of the batting in years past, but it's in the bowling this year that's really stuck out. It's just the options, the variety in which they have and the quality of all those players. This one's helped into the leg side. Cries of catch it. Will fall short. For the man out in the deep. Does well to keep it in front of him, Subramanian.
I think in the end it may have just got to him, and that's because of that wind factor. You can see his cap completely coming off. He made a really valiant effort in the end. The team just Subramanian just couldn't hold on. How things would have been different had they taken that chance. He was dropped on 10. Gajanan Singh, he's already got to 37. He was dropped all the way back in that 9th over.
Again, after that exceptional start he's gotten off to, you're just going to think about it, and if Somerset were to win this game, that's the moment you're going to turn to as a real defining moment. That would have put this game away, you almost feel, early on. How about this? Gajanan Singh, he's shown off the power already. This time climbs the hill and gets 6.
Absolutely loves that slog sweep. So strong. He's been trying to sweep a lot in this innings. Surface with so much sideways spin. He's clobbered that for 6. Probably the biggest we've seen of the day. Knew it as soon as it left the bat. No worry in terms of the wind factor because it was to the southern side of the ground.
This time through extra cover, it's hit really well. Subramanian's got work to do. We'll do it as well. Keep it to just 2 runs, but Gajanan Singh making that drop catch worth it. 96 for 4. $94 for 4 after 14, and Nikhil Gajanan Singh just seems to be only getting started. Moved to 45 off just 23 deliveries. Again, this game could look so completely different had Nasser Hussain hung on to that one. Obisman are back into the attack.
Good to see a return of runs. Oh, misfield. Bad misfield. Wheels are coming off for the Fire.
Subramanian, who's usually so good in the field, this one just bounced all around him. And not a way you want to give up 4. It was a good delivery. Just made a mess of it in the end, did the young man. Fuller.
Good return to runs for Singh. His main contributions have come with ball in hand, Gajanan Singh, which you don't really expect. His off spin, which I'm sure we'll see later today, only averaged 12 this season in the 10 matches he played. So he just shows you what he can do with the damage he can create when he does get going. He's got 5 overs after this. He'll be looking to finish big, maybe the 80, maybe even 90 to his name. His team would get a lot closer to that 175 mark. Anything is possible with him at the crease.
This one carved through the offside, and as you mentioned, it's been all about the ball for Gajanan Singh. And again, just shows you the value. He's part-time off spinner, but someone who, again, when he's able to affect the game in so many different ways, Always someone good to have in that dugout.
100 has come up in this 15th over for the Cavaliers.
This one inside half the bat, running towards fine leg. Chance to come back for a second. Patel wants it. And the throw doesn't get in. It'll be 2 runs. Sunny Patel, since coming in, hasn't looked to hit big, but has made sure runs keep flowing.
And we'll know after the game today, Aman, just how costly that power play could be, because they didn't take any risk. Specifically, tried just to rotate strike, went at less than 4 runs and over. Usually it's against a softer ball, which becomes tougher to score, but they've gone at close to 10s in this middle period, so Fire will have that at the back of their mind. Stephen Taylor, Lendl Simmons will need to start well, but that's in 5 overs time. 103 for 4.
Last 5 overs coming up, and Nico, you called for it a couple overs earlier. From the highway 240 end, it's going to be Cornet dry. Back with the ball in hand. What a shot from Sunny Patel to pick up 1.
A change of ends for dry, and just to highlight the impact that having Gajanan Singh at the crease creates. Last 5 overs since that 10th over, they've gone at 9 runs per over. And all of a sudden, what looked to be a dire position, going nowhere with that batting approach. 43 for 2 after 8. Just a bit extra impetus, some more aggression, running hard between the wickets. Now you've got yourself set up. If you get 50 from the last 5, you can easily get close to that 160 mark, which could be very challenging on a surface, which will now be into its 8th game in just 3 days, Aman.
Yeah, not just that, not just the surface, but the top order struggles for the Atlanta Fire. Strong total, could just add some more pressure. And you feel Gajanan Singh and Sunny Patel are going to have to be the ones to bring that to head.
And it's why I keep implementing the start from the Fire. Taylor's been in the runs, but Simmons has struggled this season. Aaron Jones, the captain. But chases haven't been easy. We've seen the chasing teams win here, but even today, for example, that Athletics game, that 150 seemed challenging. Went to the final delivery, so yes, surface is slightly better, but that's something to think about. Change of field now for Dry. He's got 2 deep fielders. He had fine leg backward square. Now he's got mid wicket and square leg. Fine leg is in the circle. Long on as well, mid off up. And then deep cover and deep third, the 2 on the offside. So may look to go short this delivery.
Pace off on that occasion. Chance of a run out. Not going to throw it, but you mentioned Lendl Simmons hasn't been amongst the runs. Stephen Taylor has got himself some starts. No Rishi Pandey up top of the order, left out of the 11. Zain Zayed will come back in, but he hasn't looked at his free-flowing best as we've seen for Atlanta franchises in the past. Excuse me, Zayed left out today's team.
Yeah, it's really been Pinar who's done the majority of the run scoring for them this season.
So just to see how that Fire look to respond, but this over for Cornet Dry has gone well. Just 3 runs from the first 4 deliveries, and if you're the Fire and can sneak in a couple quiet ones in these last 5, keep the total under 140, you feel very comfortable with that middle order.
Yeah, decisions for Jones to make. Does he go back to Pinar? Last over went for 9. It's always a risk with that left arm spinner to the left hander in Singh, especially now within the touch he's been in.
Looking for it, unable to get it, and again, this is what Cornet Dry has developed and added to his game. It's the slower ball, it's the pace off that we haven't seen in years past, but this season has looked to implement it early and often, and he's gotten wickets because of it.
Yeah, look specifically at those last 2 games. Against the Lightning, he bowled a couple of overs in this 15 to 20 over phase. Just went for 7 runs, picked up 2 wickets yesterday. Bowled a 1 over, went for just 3 and picked up a wicket. So this is another massive aspect to his game.
Cut nicely. Jay Pathak ain't going to be able to get there. That's going to be 4 runs, and it's going to bring up the half century for Gurjendra Singh. An important one, no more important one on the season for him. Just in 26 deliveries, he's gotten his side out of a dire situation.
Yeah, strike rate just under that 200 mark. 192. What an innings it's been. End of the over as well. Fire under some pressure here. 110 for 4.
Well, we wondered who was going to be that option for Aaron Jones. It's Amila Aponzo, who bowled his first 3 in the power play and in that opening spell. Now, back in towards the death. This is just the variety he gives you. What a shot from Sunny Patel. More known for what he does with the leg spin. But this over extra cover for 6.
Yeah, inside out. Never an easy stroke to play, but using the extra pace from Aponzo, fire that one in. Not an easy shot hitting with the spin though. And pretty much with the wind coming from the southern side of the ground. There is a long off in place, but that was wide enough. Pressure on Aponzo.
Well, Sunny Patel quietly has moved into the 20s, 24 from 18. Again, hasn't done it in an explosive manner. Just been getting those single doubles. But this time, try to get too cute. The shots down the ground were working. And for Amila Aponzo, you don't want to try to run anything down. Everything's angling in. And this time, after that 6, crashes onto stumps.
The perfect comeback from Aponzo. Went even quicker this delivery. Again, full. Went Yorker. Good weapon to have at this phase, this time of the innings. A much needed wicket as well. But a good contribution from Patel, exactly what was required of him, with Gurjendra Singh there in the middle. He departs for 24. Partnership 41 from just 29 deliveries.
Yeah, big partnership indeed. After Stephen Taylor took 2 quick wickets, just felt like this game could get out of hand very quickly, but those 2 were able to bring things back. And now, from a right-hander to a left-hander will be Yasir Mohammed, a leg spinner to a leg spinner. The young man will come out to the crease to bat alongside Gurjendra Singh. Internationally, Yasir Mohammed would have some forgettable days with the bat in hand, but in minor league cricket. Has really batted anywhere in the order. Opened for the Manhattan Yorkers last season. Given a middle order spot here, and Yasser, highly confident cricketer, plays all the shots, including ones behind the keeper. And he's able to stick in for some time. Wouldn't be surprised to see that one unfold. Now this minor league season, this 2023 Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship, has been one of movement and free agency acquisitions. These two men in the middle, two of those, Muhammad from the Yorkers, Singh from the Titans. Off the mark straight away, could find a boundary straight away, and does find a boundary straight away, as straight as you like down the ground. Good start from the young man.
Yeah, the impact of Gajanan Singh. What a difference he has made to this innings. Just instilled confidence in this Cavaliers side. Mohamed can bat. We've seen it a couple of times over the last 2 seasons. He's played some gems. He's done his job. Can he just get one to get Gajanan Singh the strike?
Just hit back to the middle of Ponzo, and Yasser Muhammad, I'm not sure he's thinking about just one, Nikhil. He's always looking for to score and hit the big shot. Presented the opportunity, he's going to go after Amila. This will be that single to bring Gajanan Singh on strike, however.
Could possibly be dry from this highway end, or does he save him for that penultimate or final over and go back to Pina or Subramaniam? Stephen Taylor has one.
I think Subramanian's a good option. Again, takes pace off into the surface. And against two bats who are looking to be aggressive, his style of bowling might just prove effective. Find one through the offside to close out the 17th over. A good one for the Somerset Cavaliers. 12 from it. 122 for 5. And right on cue, Nikhil, the Subramanian brought in to try to quiet down these two bats and get corner dry and over in with some pressure.
Yeah, what's his best delivery? That's what you'd be thinking about. Best delivery to get Gajanan Singh out. He had deep third, they thought about it. Now they'll have deep point. Joining cover and long off. So 3 deep on the offside. Can either go wide Yorker, can go full at the stumps, but has to be probably on that off stump line.
I like the idea, pushing across Gajanan Singh, who's looked to take the ball into the leg side time and time again. Into the leg side. That's going to be 6. Can't let him do that. Not the start Subramanian in the fire needed, but Gajanan Singh, he's carrying on.
Yeah, missed his length. Trying to go wide of the left-hander instead. Too straight. And an easy length for Gajanan Singh to hit. He's already hit a few 6s through that cow corner area.
Not the way Subramanian wanted to start. So much pressure now. Back on the young man. That's helped. That's helped so nicely. Gajendra Singh, maybe the biggest of the lot. Slower ball goes awry, and Singh up to the task.
Yeah, looking at the field, I'm surprised he's gone even pace off. It was a clear cutter, but I thought it would have been pace on and wide. I thought that was the plan, but Cornet Dry's senior man now will have a discussion. Long off, deep cover, deep point are the three fielders deep on the offside. Gajendra Singh, what an innings this has been. Resurrected his team from a position. Remember, if they win this game, they have a very good chance of qualifying for that final, the Cavaliers.
That's better. Full straight, seam up. Yasir Muhammad wanted the second, but good work inside the ring by Aaron Jones. And to get Gajendra Singh off strike is key, but the damage is done in the over, Nikhil. 13 already from the first 3 deliveries. The task doesn't get easier. Yes, it's Yasir Muhammad, but this is a man who would have seen a lot of Subramanian through that 2021 under-19 cycle, playing youth cricket in the United States. Down the ground, pick up 1, bring Gajendra Singh back to strike.
Yeah, those last 2 deliveries have been exactly what Jones would have asked of him, and you can see Jones elated with him. He's remained on this angle from over the wicket, and he's gone full Yorker, and he's nailed both of them. Does he go again, or is he worried about becoming predictable? The field remains the same.
Goes full and wide again, just to Aaron Jones. This is it from a young man. This is why he's been called upon on so many sides. It's because he doesn't get phased and he adjusts very, very quickly. So often the key in T20 cricket.
It's good thinking from Jones as well, because if you watch Singh today, all of the boundary options have come in the leg side. Haven't seen him strike too much to that cover region for 4, so smart thinking.
Gajendra Singh trying to get to the pitch of the ball, but unable to do so. A good comeback for Subramanian, but New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers very happy with a 14-run over, 136 for 5. Last over of Cornet Dry to come now, and it begs the question, Nikhil, who bowls the final over? Is it Subramanian again? Is it Batak? Or is Aaron Jones going to turn to a Stephen Taylor or a Obis Pinar?
Yeah, first area of worry for Jones would be this over. Can they get a wicket? Just 14 away now from 150. The Cavaliers, they'll want more than that. If they can get 10 from these last 2 apiece, they'll get to that 156 mark. Just underscores how good of an innings this has been from Singh. Now, what field does Dry start with? He's got deep point, deep cover.
Talking about it time and time again, Cornet Dry has just added this.
Yeah, I want to see Muhammad just get 1 though, because the way Singh has gone today, you want to maximize him, have him face the majority of deliveries. You know it's going to be pace off and likely short because of the field.
Into the air, over the top of the infield. This could go to the boundary. It will go to the boundary. What a shot from Yasser Mohammed. He's played that completely on the up.
Don't think you mind that too much if you're a corner dry. Wasn't a bad delivery at all. Just chipped over that mid-off field and bit of a slope helping it to get to the boundary.
Good way for Yasser Mohammed to start out the over after the dot ball to pick up that boundary, move the score to 140. Be a tough run chase now. Full and straight. Well done to dig it out.
Yeah, for me it all comes down to the start. For the Fire, they've got a star-studded top order. Someone needs to fire for them. Pun intended.
Nikhil, is your opening pair for the Fire, Lendl Simmons and Stephen Taylor? Is that where you would go?
Yeah, it has to be. I've seen Rishi Pandey at the top of the order at times, but for me it has to be Simmons.
Extra run opted in there, and yeah, the other top order options that they've used throughout the season. Kenar Lewis, part of the Somerset Cavaliers. Rishi Pandey not in the 11 today. Neither is Zain Zayed. So it almost feels like Simmons has to be part of that opening pair. Change of the field now is backward square. Comes inside the ring. He's going to go wider. It's a full and wide here from Cornet Drive. No, the double bluff works. Slower delivery undoes Yasser Mohammed, and struggling to get that much needed single, as you mentioned, Nikhil.
Yeah, crucially, 4 deliveries have gone in the over. And Singh has not faced the ball. Now he has a decision to make. Does he want strike for the final one, or does Mohammed have the license for these last 2 to just swing and get as many as he can?
I think you give Yasser the license to swing big. It's the last over of Cornet Dry. Make sure you see the last over. Does go big and handsome. Yasser Mohammed's got all of this one. What a shot from the young man.
Yeah, Dry misses badly. What a knot this has been, though. What a turnaround this has been in this innings. It's been well over 10 runs per over. Tried to go pace off, but too full, and anything down the ground has disappeared for 6. With the win, smart batting and smart cricket from the Cavaliers.
Such valuable added runs for the Somerset Cavaliers. They're inching towards 150, 160, and it's so tough to chase on this ground. And if you get a score up to 160, we saw 140 tough. I can only imagine with the Cavaliers bowling lineup that'll feature spinners like Sunny Patel, Yasser Mohammed, Gajran Singh. Always going to be tough for a batting lineup that hasn't found it up top the order. Last delivery of the over. Again, you can expect Yasser Mohammed to look to go big. Creative. Figured that the length was going to be pulled and just helps it around the corner. Picks up 4 to close the over. At the end of 19, it's 151 for 5. Well, an expensive last over for Subramanian hasn't prompted Jones to go away from the young man. He corrected the line and length And Gajnan Singh, have to imagine, is going to play these final 6 deliveries. Into the leg side. It's going to be 6 more. Yeah, it is. Gajnan Singh, what an innings. Take a bow.
Yeah, innovation. Really smart cricket from the Cavaliers in the last 5 overs. And Singh has seen this plan already. He's seen Subramaniam go from over the wicket, try to bowl wide. He knows he loves that onside. It's with the wind as well. He steps across and just pummels it. 70 from 33. Remember, folks, I keep saying it, they were just 4 runs and over in the power play.
Over the offside this time. Fielder in place. It won't get there. And Gajnan Singh was just kind of ball watching there. Got caught. And Mohammed will get the single.
Yeah, the Fire, though, they will know, as disappointed as they will be, that they weren't able to close things out. One thing they'll know is that runs are on offer. Surface is a bit slow, but there's still opportunity to score. If you get 60 in that power play, you're right on track. They've had to play a lot of catch-up cricket, the Cavaliers, to even get to this position.
Get 1 down the ground. They're thinking about 2. Sent Mohammed back. Did Gajnan Singh. I think that's the right call. Let Gajnan Singh see these final deliveries of strike.
Yeah, good from Subramaniam. Tried it again. He went even wider from that off stump. And he's nailed his Yorkers. This is impressive. 19 years old. Tinja Subramaniam. It's not easy conditions to bowl in.
Pushed into the offside. Just 1 to Aaron Jones. Good comeback. As you mentioned, the young man never seems to get phased, even after being hit for runs. He's just going to keep going about his business.
Once 60s come up, after that 10th over, 59 for 2 they were. Could they get 100 from the last 5? They've gotten more than that. What a finish this has been.
Wide given, trying to attack the wide line.
It's a good part of this, Aman, because you've got Yasser Mohammed, who's 19 years old. You've got Subramaniam, who's 19. Mohammed could play a huge part in this game. He's already contributed with bat in hand, but as a leg spinner, haven't seen leg spin yet for the day, but could get a lot of spin.
Trying to be innovative, Yasser. We see him play that shot so many times, unable to do it on that occasion, but now he'll get strike for the last delivery. He's got to find a way just to get any bit of runs. Gajnan Singh, take a start, get ready to go.
I've enjoyed this intent, though, from young Yasser Mohammed. Small things like that. He didn't execute, but finally it was up in the circle. It was the right idea. Had he just got bat on it, it would have been a certain boundary. 1 delivery left. Can he capitalize, get them to 165?
And that'll be a dot to close things off. Subramanian closes it off well, but this was an innings that was dominated by the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers and one man, Gajnan Singh, 72 from 35, and the Cavaliers get to 161.
Yeah, 58 coming in the last 5. Gajnan Singh, though, what a contribution. Walked in there in the 7th over. They were going at 4 runs and over, and you thought they couldn't get enough from there. But Singh has batted superbly well for his 72, well supported by Mohammed. Just the urgency they needed in that innings. It should be a fascinating run chase. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to this Prairie View Cricket Complex, where we have what is the big match in these Atlantic Conference Super 4s. The Atlanta Fire, it's simple task from here, 162 to the final. The junior Somerset Cavaliers, they defend that, and they'd have an awfully good shot of getting there themselves. Amon Patel joined by Nikhil Uttamchandani, and Nikhil, we talked about it in that first innings. It's going to be all about how the Atlanta Fire start. That's been the bane of this batting lineup. Their opening pair hasn't fired consistently through the tournament. They have the star names and the middle order to do it, but it's going to be about those two men in the middle.
Yeah, I haven't seen Simmons and Taylor both at the top of the order. Simmons is batted at 3. So this will be a good change for the Fire. And if these two get away in these first 6 overs, game could be over very quickly.
Never going to be easy to get away, though, because you have some really good bowling to start out with. But these two have played a lot of cricket. We've seen in a lot of big situations, Stephen Taylor, Lendl Simmons, both of whom have played in finals weekend in minor league cricket. And they'll start things off facing the captain, Najaf Shah. Nikhil, what are you looking for from the bowling perspective when you talk about Somerset Cavaliers? Just the pacers are there, the spinners are there, but who do you think in particular could be the X factor to get them over the line?
I think to start, 2 left-handers, I want to see when they get Gajanan Singh into the attack. Off-spin option, he's been very good with off-spin this season, but I think I always pick a wrist spinner in T20 cricket. It's the way the game is going in recent times. Such an X-factor option. They've got 2 in, Patel and Yasir Mohammed. Mohammed has already had a good day with bat in hand. In those middle overs, he could be so important.
Najaf Shah will start things off in to Stephen Taylor. In the air straight away, but away from Najaf Shah. Good start for the Somerset Cavaliers.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be too much concerns about the surface. It's been 2 pace for the day, but the fact that we saw over 100 runs being scored in the last 10 overs of the first innings, Taylor and Simmons will know that there's runs on offer here. Gajanan Singh struck at close to 200 in his innings, and it wasn't any build-up. It was pretty much the onslaught from ball 1.
First runs on the board for the Atlanta Fire. The reason that Gajanan Singh's innings might just be one you have to take out of your mind is just because of the way that you saw Xavier Marshall, Kenara Lewis struggle early on, struggling to find runs in the power play for that first wicket. Only able to combine for 23 of them. And now we'll get to see the right-handed Simmons operate against the left-hander Shah. And Najaf Shah usually pitches it up looking for swing. I think on this surface you might just expect him to pull the length back.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Aman.
Goes full, we'll find a run.
Yeah, here in terms of that discussion, the only thing I would say about that opening pair, Lewis and Marshall, the intent to score, they were happy to just push it around. Didn't see Lewis play too many of those expansive shots, which would give me an indication that it was difficult. They were happy to almost try to set a platform. It's a risky way of playing. You're almost playing catch-up for the remainder of the innings, and then both of them would go on to get out. So I don't think you necessarily want to start that slowly, especially when you need close to 8s or just over 8 and over from the inception.
Stephen Taylor likes to play that region through cover and long off. No one in place. Short, pulled away. Never a real chance. It'll be 6 runs. It takes the camera on the way through as well.
Plays the ball very late, Stephen Taylor. Yeah, picked the short one, got on the inside of the line. And just helped it along its way. That's the start. That's what the Fire needed. Already 8 from the first 4 deliveries.
Slower this time, unable to beat Yasser Mohammed stationed in the infield. Again, that early boundary is so key for the Atlanta Fire. And this partnership is going to want to get through the power play period. Plenty of batting options. Aaron Jones, Obis Pinar, Nasser Hussain. We've seen Cornet Dry and Emilio Ponzo come to life with bat in hand as well.
Yeah, it's really been a struggle for Simmons this season. Just 52 runs in the 4 times he's batted for the Fire. He's come into the tournament late. But as we saw with Gajadhan Singh, who struggled the entire tournament. Doesn't really matter with players of that caliber.
Run through, but nowhere to go to close out the first over. A good one for the Fire, 8 without loss. Well, the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers looked at Najaf Shah early, and it's going to be the same opening bowling pair for them. When we talk about the man who comes into bowl now is going to be Junaid Masood. He was good with the ball for the Somerset Cavaliers when they win against the Lightning yesterday. Again, the Somerset Cavaliers without a couple of key names you would recognize on that bowling list if you would look at the stats. So they're relying on a couple of new faces with the ball in hand. Guys like Saad bin Safar, Kareem Agor, not part of the side back with their home sides. Here we go, starting things off, Junaid. Lovely from Lendl Simmons, that's classic. A cover drive to get yourself going.
Yeah, that is trademark Lendl Simmons. All the struggle in the world in the minor league in the previous 4 games out the window. Just waited on it, caressed it nicely through extra cover for 4. Great way to open his account.
Yeah, wide and full, asked to be hit. And Lendl Simmons, who carries some international experience, was never going to miss out on a delivery like that. And you don't want to do this if you're the Somerset Cavaliers. Let Lendl Simmons ease his way in with shots like that. As this deep batting lineup, this game can get away from you in a hurry. Left alone that time from Simmons. And you mentioned the spinner. Somerset Cavaliers electing not to go and bring in one of their finger spinners or even the wristies. We saw the Fire go Emilio Ponzo all throughout the power play from one end of the ground. Somerset Cavaliers is much more traditional in their plans throughout the season. 2 pacers to start and a spinner to close. As that one to beat the outside edge, it'll also beat the man with the gloves. It'll be 4 runs. Can't do this, can't have this if you're the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers.
Yeah, may have had some movement off the surface because it seemed to surprise Simmons and just die on the way to the keeper. May have been some tried for a pace off delivery, and that's the problem. Fine leg and third are in the circle.
And Kawaru, he'd want that one back. Always going to be tough. That ball did die on him, and that's prompted him to get the helmet on and take a couple of strides closer. This time back of a length. Not able to get anything out of it. Again, 8 runs already in the over. It'd be you'd have to imagine, Nikhil, this would be the way the Fire would have wanted to start their innings.
Yeah, the critical thing will be how long can these two be in the middle. Yes, power play is important. I think if these two bat, though, they can score at 8, 9, 10 runs and over, even outside of it. They're just two great batters. Simmons with all his experience. Taylor's done well domestically in the US. Yeah, I think you'd be inclined to go spin if you're Shah.
Are you looking at Gudgeon and Singh, Nikhil, or are you looking at one of the other options, maybe a Sunny Patel?
Yeah, wrist spin could be a risk with that new ball, so maybe Singh is the best way to go.
Good comeback from Junaid. Just the 4 runs coming off the bat. Other than that, it's been all byes. Close out the second over, 16 without loss. Well, very rarely do we see Najaf Shah give up the ball in the power plays.
Cavaliers already had 2 and the byes so far. Yeah, boundaries can really help. They have enough depth, enough depth that if they need maybe 40 off the last 5, it should be gettable.
This one's in the air. Cries of catch. It's going to fly over the infield. The luxuries of the power play. This one will race all the way to the boundary for 4.
Yeah, shorter side and with the wind. So even though he didn't execute as he would have liked, Stephen Taylor, trying to play that flick. He loves that flick shot. Leading edge, but goes over point. Watched him in that innings yesterday against the Philadelphians, and there was a lot of flicks, a lot of cuts, trying to play the ball as late as possible on a surface like this. Got 30, a crucial 30 as they went on to win the game.
You can see it there, trying to play late. Was begging Simmons for that single in the end, but again, Stephen Taylor has the power, but he's developed that finesse game that just gives him an ability to score all around the ground. Najaf Shah is going to be searching for that wicket. Break this partnership, get Aaron Jones out in the middle early. Just could create some early pressure on the Atlanta Fire. Again, played late. This time Simmons wants the run and they'll get it. Good running, good awareness from the 2 in the middle.
Yeah, that's what Singh did well. Even though, yes, he struck boundaries, he was able to just turn over the strike. Struck 12 boundaries, Gudgeon and Singh.
Even when you think about the morning game, Nico, think about Shane Jahangir and how he approached his innings. Early on was a boundary getter, but started to get the singles late, turned the gear down, understanding that it's not always going to be easy to score. Just made sure too many dot balls didn't pile on and didn't allow the scoreboard pressure to get to the rest of his team. Third man, very straight for Najaf Shah. See what he has in store for the right-hander. This is the matchup that he'd like. Bringing the the ball back in. This one much straighter on to Lendl Simmons. No run on offer for Najaf Shah. And you know the Somerset Cavaliers, they're looking and eyeing their first finals appearance. Missing out on the playoffs each of the last 2 years, and now looking to get themselves not only to Dallas, but to win it.
Yeah, Mustangs already the one team who booked a place in that final. Be up to these two. One of these two will be joining them on Sunday.
On the pads, given. Lendl Simmons has got to go. And Najaf Shah has done exactly what Najaf Shah has done all year long. Create havoc for the right-handers.
Have seen balls from the tallest seamers, Cornet Dry, Najaf Shah. Tend to skid on at times. Hard to predict on this surface. He thought it was going down leg. Again, that camera's not positioned directly behind. It's hard to see from that angle. Simmons didn't think so though. The umpire did. He has to depart. First wicket for the Fire gone.
And what a way to close out that third over. 21 for 1. Well, Najaf Shah, exactly what the doctor ordered, needed that wicket. He called upon himself to bring it on, and he did just that. And he'll bring out the Fire captain, Aaron Jones, out into the middle. And Najaf Shah again electing to go back to Junaid Masood.
Yeah, pace for the first 4 overs, but it really is a massive strike. The world has seen what Lendl Simmons can do at the T20 level when he gets going, just to get him out, keep him tamed. Never really got going. You close out this power play, even if you don't get another wicket, and you're keeping them to 7 and over. You take that if you're Shah, and you can then bowl a lot of spin in the middle. 2 wrist spinners, you've got finger spin.
Masood bowled completely to Lendl Simmons in his first over, so lefty a new challenge for him. Again, leaving that region from long off to covers, even deep point inside the ring. Everybody inside, daring Stephen Taylor to try to go over the top of the offside.
Yeah, has deep third and long on as the 2 on the boundary in this power play.
What a delivery from Masood. He's found the length after that initial delivery was just too full to Lendl Simmons. Since has pulled it back and has created havoc off the surface.
He has a real opportunity for Taylor as well, because seen him cut the ball really well in this tournament. And if he's trying to go to that shorter length into the pitch, he just needs to pierce the gap.
Unable to do it there. One of the few times we've seen Masood get full, but the key of that was almost at that Yorker length.
Xavier Marshall lost his shoe in the process of fielding that one. Good to see him smiling, because he looked in a pretty bad state after he batted, limped off. Couldn't really run. It was a good stop though.
Putting it all on the line, Nikhil. That's how much this means to this side. They want that berth in the finals. Yasser Muhammad looked over at me before the start of this innings and said 1 innings away. That's what this team's going to think. 1 innings away from a place in Dallas. Bodum, looking to go through the offside. Stephen Taylor's missed out, and Junaid Masood, he's picked up wicket number 2.
The similar struggles continue for the Atlanta Fire. Another one of their openers going down, and this has been a problem. All of a sudden, after what was a healthy start in those first couple of overs, used the angle well. He just subtly came in off the surface and a little too close for Taylor to cut. It's a game of fine margins, this. Big wicket for the Cavs. Taylor must depart. 21 for 2 now.
And Nikhil, an interesting play here now from the Atlanta Fire. We've seen Obis Pinar in this situation, but they've elected Nasir Hussain. Not the first time they've sent him up top the order when wickets fall in the power play. And they've elected to go with him because he's someone who stabilizes the innings. Doesn't bat at a 140 strike rate, more so anywhere from 90 to 110. But he's going to be asked to just carry down one end, hold one end down, and keep that middle order intact.
Yeah, and that national final last season, he did bat at number 4. Just played the playoffs of that 2022 season and batted at 4 throughout. So even in his international game as well, in his days playing for Bangladesh, this won't be unfamiliar circumstances.
But he's going to be dealing with a charged up Cavaliers side. Junaid Masood again only gave up 4 runs in his first. The other 4 came off byes. That 4 was just one that was over pitched. Since has been right on the money. Hasn't given up a run since that brilliant extra cover drive from Lendl Simmons. What a delivery. What a delivery this is. Again, he's just understanding the surface. Not express, but someone who understands how to bowl. And that's why Najaf Shah has gone to him to open the innings off.
Pressure on. Pressure is on this Fire side.
Get 1 off the pads, Nasir Hussain. Again, after those couple of 8-run overs, it's been tough to get runs now, Nikhil.
Yeah, and Jones will need to be the man for the job because in that run chase yesterday went slowly, but they were only chasing 120. Today, however, circumstances are a lot different. Asking rate is creeping up to that 9 and over mark. The good thing for them, though, is that they have a lot of power to come. Pinar, who's had a healthy strike rate this season. Jamar Hamilton got that 50 against the Galaxy early on.
The one knock on Aaron Jones' international career, where he's the vice captain of the USA team, is that he can just get bogged down too early, not look to rotate strike, and eat up just too many dot balls. Can't afford to do that today. Start off with 1 here to close out the 4th over. What an over from Masood, just 1 off the leg by. 4 done, 22 for 2. After 16 from the first 2 overs, just 8 runs since for 2 wickets. We get our first bowling change. No more Najaf Shah. He'll save his 2 overs for later. They'll look to Abdullah Ghazi. Bowled well. That match against the Lightning. More seam though, Nikhil. Thought maybe we might get to see a spinner early on, but Najib Shah's elected to use his pacers.
Yeah, it's working though for him. The pace bowling is working because it just seems like pace off. A bit of extra on it has done the trick, so even though they're chasing 160, still can afford some period of consolidation. Remember, they were just 23 after their power play, the Cavaliers. I'm not saying, you want to be having to go at 10s for the last 10, but you can factor in the fact that they started slowly and still were able to catch up. They have the firepower.
Pun intended, Nikhil. In the air, taken. Nasser Hussain goes. It's 3 and 3 overs, and the Cavs, they're on top.
Yeah, Hussain will be livid. Will be absolutely livid with this because it was short. Really should have been put away. Timed it well, but straight to the cover fielder. Takes a smart catch. Does Saeed. Gone for none. 22 for 3. Trouble for the Fire.
Well, this game has just turned on its head. The Atlanta Fire got off to a good start, but they've seen 3 batters in and quickly out. And now their best batter on the season, Obis Pinar, who joined the team late this year and still managed to be its highest run scorer, is into the middle.
Slip in place. New batter, this partnership could be the vital one. Could be make or break for the Atlanta Fire.
Pushed into the onside, wants a single straight away.
You're seeing the results of the confidence though. Went up over 10s in the last 5. And they brought that into this bowling approach. Upbeat in the field, body language is good.
Oftentimes is what momentum brings. It just can fuel your innings, and this is a very high-powered team in terms of energy, high octane. And I was having a conversation with Yasser Mohammed. He said after their late win against Empire State, they got together and they felt, yes, we have all the tools to win a championship, and they're on the verge now. Big wide down the leg side.
Yeah, Pinar has done it though. He's recovered them out of these troubling situations many times in this tournament. I mentioned he's been in the runs, the most runs for them. He's also got a really good strike rate. One of the few players that have been able to strike at above 140 in this tournament.
Gets through the infield. It'll race along to the boundary. Much needed to ease some of that pressure from the Fire captain.
Yeah, it was just too short from Ghazi. He's got deep third on the boundary in the offside, so with that field it tells you he wants to be full. And that is just easy pickings for Jones. Captain could be the deciding factor in this game. He was the deciding factor in the playoffs a season ago. He averaged 67. Just was a run machine in that tournament. That was back in Morrisville though. Different conditions, different situation as well.
Again through the offside, but this time just to the fielder. Home run on offer there, but early good signs for Jones. You can see him not in his shell. He's looking to play shots, looking to score runs. And that's what you want to see out of the Fire captain. Again, looking to cut this time. Won't beat the man inside the ring. Another dot ball on offer. I think kind of got away with that one, Ghazi.
Yeah, really missed out Jones because it was short, wide, should have been put away. And Jones knew it straight away. He punched the bat. Especially with this pressure on. Just don't know if you can afford to miss out on those deliveries. Obviously, he's not intentionally missing out, but it's a tough game. Such small margins. Maybe a few meters to the left, that's a boundary.
Straight down the ground, finds the stumps as the 12th fielder. Nikhil, we're in for an enticing matchup here. 5 overs gone, 28 for 3. Sunny Patel, first signs of spin. Nikhil, we thought maybe it could have been a Gajnan Singh, but with the left-hander gone, opting for the wrist spin.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how much purchase he can get off this surface.
Two fielders in the deep, long on cow corner, very conventional. Obis Pinar likes to hit straight down the ground. Don't want to keep it out of his reach. Short, pulled. We'll just find the fielder, station him in the wicket.
Yeah, again though, gets away with it. Starts with a loosener. It is the bigger side of the ground, so I would say he gets away with it. I wonder, similar position that these Cavs were in. Both of these batters are capable of getting out of this, freeing things up, but it's not the easiest of surfaces, it really isn't. Conditions, tough.
Looking to cut. You mentioned Aaron Jones's knock in Morrisville last season. Had a 50 in that match to get them to the final. Pretty similar spot here. Gonna need a captain's knock if the Fire want to go back-to-back in terms of winning the Atlantic Conference. This one struck the pad. Says no, umpire.
Yeah, and Jones will feel really disappointed because in the last over he timed two really well. One went to the fielder, the second one cannon into the stumps. He could have easily been 12 by now, and it's a whole different ball game. Instead, he's had to scratch around for these first 7 deliveries he's faced.
Little inside edge to find leg. It's been tough since that initial boundary from Jones.
And you can see the ball is spinning. He's doing a lot off the surface. Yasser Mohammed could be very important for this Cavaliers team.
Picked up 3 yesterday. And Jones still can't find a way to get Sunny Patel away. Can't afford to do this. Can't afford to soak up these dot balls. Just would put so much pressure. Pinar at the other end. Calls for 2. Yasser Muhammad is going to need a good throw in to keep any of these two from making it. It's a good way, good over for the Somerset Cavaliers. Just 3 from it, 31 for 3. Nikhil, 2 slow power plays, but it's the wickets in hand that the Cavaliers had, but the Fire don't. They're 3 down now that the field's spread out.
Yeah, another day you would say this Cavaliers bowling lineup just lacks pace. Today though, this is perfect for the conditions. We've got a group of medium pacers who can just go into the pitch quite a lot. 6 meter length. It's probably the optimum length to bowl on this surface. It's already produced the wicket of Taylor.
Big Ghazi to continue. Got the wicket on Nasir Hussain. One back of a length with some width. It was just cut straight to point. Now for Obis Pinar. Deep third. Deep cover, long off, long on. And a deep mid wicket. Push down the ground. We'll get 1. And Nick, it was not the first time Pinar's been in this situation. Even batting at 4-5, he's come in relatively early, and he's had to build his innings slow, but he just can get and flick the switch so quickly.
He's already showcased it here at the Prairie View Cricket Complex in this Super 8 phase. Got that 20 not out yesterday to win the game for his team.
As this one's pushed through for 1.
But I looked before that. In that game against the Lightning, it was on this surface, it was tough. And when everyone else looked like they couldn't find the boundary, he came out, struck at 160 and got them over the line. Got 44 from just 27. So, just judging by that, I don't think they mind this the moment. If they can just see out a few overs, get used to conditions, not the easiest surface to get in on, then once they're in, can up the ante, look for a boundary or 2 and over.
Into the offside again, and Pinar will come back for 2. That's good. But you mentioned his ability to just, on this surface, look like he was batting on a different planet. And it came on deliveries that were full. You got to mind the length when bowling to Pinar. Anything full has just been put straight back down the ground and dispatched. When they've been on a length, it's been tough to score. Now he's made worse. Good deliveries look worse than they are, but if you're a spinner, don't want to get too close to that reach of Obis Pinar.
There's some discussion with Gajanan saying what's the best delivery to bowl. He's now allowed 5 outside the circle. He's got long off, long on, deep cover, deep third. So 3 fielders deep on the offside. So far so good. They've kept the boundary count to a minimum. And that asking rate is creeping close to 10 and over.
Good delivery. That just closer to the body. And that's the message Gajanan Singh probably sent to his bowler. Said, hey, keep it close to Obis Pinar. Don't let him use those arms and just maneuver the ball around. Just dab down to third man. He'll pick up 1. Pinar wanted 2, but straight to the fielder.
Another thing about these run chases as well, we talked a lot about the Cavaliers and they're on top of the game at this stage, but the Fire and Jones and Pinar are experienced enough to know they've got a Jamar Hamilton still to come who can be absolutely destructive, very prolific in terms of the 6 hitting. They just need 2 big overs, doesn't matter when they come. Even if that asking rate gets up to 12 and over or more. If you have 5 wickets or so in hand going into the last 5, you back yourself, you back your team. End of 7, 35 for 3.
Sunny Patel to continue with the ball in hand, and his length in his first over was exceptional, Nikhil. Again, we've seen Jones, Pinar both look to hit straight and have success to do it. So if you keep him on the back foot, you found the most success.
Very strong breeze blowing across the ground here from the south. This PVCC 6 field. Last 3 overs, they've only scored 7 runs. It's been really slow going. Last 2 overs, correction.
Tucked into the leg side, calls for 2, but Pinar sends him back wisely, does that. And again, just look at the length from Sunny Patel. It's not a wicket-taking length per se, but it's just keeping Jones and Pinar from freeing their hands and hitting through the line down the ground. Quicker through the air this time. Again, call for 2. They're going to test the arm of Yasir Mohammed. And Pinar, quick, gets home.
Yeah, really good running. Excellent from this partnership. Very aware of what's needed at this stage. Tough going, but boundaries not coming. You just need to hang around. The opportunity will be there. At some stage, they will face a few deliveries which they can pounce on. They're still 124 runs away. You can't afford to take too many risks now and you end up losing the game comfortably.
Over the top of extra cover. What a shot that is from Obis Pinar. Made some room and helps himself. Finds that boundary.
Right on cue. And first 2 deliveries were finger spin from Patel. This one out the back of the hand. Pinar just shuffled outside of his crease. And Gajanan Singh is one we've seen hit to that side of the ground. Again, a lot of success with the wind.
Pushed down the ground. What we see oftentimes from Obis Pinar is that little move to give himself room. Such a tall man, has such long arms, and that just allows him to access the offside. It's almost a staple of his game when playing spin. And just defended away from Aaron Jones, that boundary. Eases some of the pressure that was building. You mentioned it, 7 runs from 2 overs. They'll flick it into the onside. Thought about 2 for a moment. Pinar still wants it, and they'll get it. Good running from the 2 men in the middle to close out the 8th over. 47 for 3.
Cannot even buy right now.
Here we go, spin operating from both ends now. It's Yasir Mohammed, who had a day with the bat, able to contribute, scoring 21 runs off 13 balls, and yesterday took 3 wickets. Back today, has a big task on his hands.
Yeah, 2 right-handers in the middle. Thought may have come an over earlier. Yasir Mohammed. These 4 overs could be the game though. Genuine wrist spinner. can bowl the googly as well. Interesting choice of ends as well. I thought maybe from this highway end, but no, actually, on second thought, it is the right option because offside for these two right-handers is into the wind.
Good length from Mohammed. This was the end he bowled at yesterday. That was so fruitful for him, so I can understand why they've brought him back there. Also, the wind factor. The one thing Mohammed's got to make sure he doesn't do, has a little tendency with that wrong-footed run-up to just toss one in short. And if you do that, Pinar's going to use the wind over the leg side.
He's a young bowler, still learning, but really interested to see the way his career develops. The way he's already made his debut for the USA international side. Wrist spinners are like gold in T20 cricket of today's game. Just picked up in the Bangladesh Premier League for that Rangpur Riders side. Team actually in partnership with the Fire. So quite ironic he's on the other side of things. And that we've seen the batting exploits as well.
And Mohammed making his T20 debut in 21, ODI debut in 2022. Both in the United States, not many people can say that. And the reason as to why he was so quickly brought up was because of, again, his ability to turn the ball and as a leg spinner. And in the USA, a plethora of left arm spinners, not many of these.
Has been a struggle. It's been a struggle for Aaron Jones. Key thing now, though, is not to get out because he's still forcing captain to think, trying to prize a wicket.
Cut away, work to be done, keep it to just one run. But again, important. Every single run important. And for Aaron Jones, if he can just find ways to get singles throughout the innings, as Pinar can do the striking early as Jones starts to find his way through. Something we saw in Atlanta when they were playing the Morrisville Raptors in a game that was headed close. Wickets fell early. Those two built a partnership, each scoring half centuries in the process. Looking to go through the offside. But this old surface showing signs of turn.
Yeah, just to put it in context. Had 8 matches here now on this specific strip. So naturally it will be spin conducive.
Cut, doesn't beat backward point. I let it work. Done there in the infield. And a good first over for Yasir Muhammad. Just gives up 2. 9 done, 49 for 3. One wrist spinner on, the other comes off as Gajnan Singh, the finger spinner, comes out to bowl. Interestingly enough, to 2 right-handers, but the wind blowing into the leg side, blowing against that leg side of the right-hander. So would have to hit into the wind if looking to take Gajnan Singh. But we saw yesterday, Nikhil, genuine signs of turn for Gajnan, and we'll see if he can extract some today.
He's got 15 wickets this season. Average just 7 runs per wicket. That's one of the best in the tournament. The challenge is not getting easier for the Fire.
Against the length in which he bowls, and some people questioning were those 15 wickets due to bowling at Mercer County. But he's shown it here, coming down to Prairie View, that no, it's not just because I'm bowling at the northeast. No matter where I'm bowling, I'm taking wickets. Down the ground, into the leg side. Doesn't matter if the wind's blowing in that direction. It's 6 all the way.
Jones has seen enough. 19 deliveries now he's been at the crease. He's been very watchful, been cautious, but has made up his mind. Need to get on top of that asking rate, which continues to increase. Got used to the feet. Saw Milind Kumar do this a couple of times. Only a few players have enough skill to be able to come down the track. Jones is one of them.
Good way to get some pressure off of the captain's back. Push down the ground, smart batting. Again, this is what's going to be required from the Atlanta Fire. Can they get that boundary? But then this. Keep strike moving is what Gajnan Singh did so well, as you pointed out earlier.
I remember they were 59, the Cavaliers, after 10. Similar trajectory. For the Fire, they have the power to replicate that big finish as well.
Reverse. Don't see this often from Obis Pinar, but he'll pick up 4 for it. Saw no third man. Took advantage.
Excellent. Really excellent cricket from the Fire. These two in the middle. Recognizing you've got the off spinner on. Favourable matchup for both these. It's a really good shot though. Not easy at all to play. Fine leg was in the circle. Good option already. 11 has come from the first 4 deliveries.
It's big time as well, because Gajnan Singh is not just seen as a part-timer for this side. This is a man who, again, has turned to at times for Nadir Shah as a strike bowler. And to take him on and hit him for runs, we just start to leak some pressure back onto the Somerset Cavaliers. Again tries it. This time they say bat no. Umpire saying no. Umpire says no. Obis Pinar is not moving. And he's saying it's come off the arm. Gajnan Singh's adamant. He's saying it's at the bat, and Obis Pinar very adamant it's come off of that forearm.
Yeah, tried it again. Tried a similar reverse sweep again. Yeah, definitely came up off that forearm, which is not attached to the bat. It has to be that glove strapping or below. Good use of the rules by the umpires. Good awareness. Not easy decision. Not an easy decision to make.
Pinar survives. Can't get carried away with that shot. Just a tuck into leg side to close out the 10th over. One the Fire will remember. 10 overs gone, 63 for 3.
Halfway stage in this innings, Yasser Mohammed, a good start for him, just went for 2. His leg spin back into the attack. Came in a nice balance at the moment. Got 7 wickets in hand. The Fire, so a lot of batting still to come. But at the same time, that run rate, they've kept it under control of the Cavaliers.
Anyone's game at the moment. Pretty similar scores at the 10 over mark. 59 for the Cavaliers, 62 for the Fire.
And after they were able to get 12 from that last over, the Fire will know that seems not far away. Seems like it's been easier to score against the faster bowlers. Can't be too far. Don't know if Shah is brave enough to go back to Gajnan Singh. with the two right-handers in the middle. So a lot to keep an eye on.
And you bring up Gajan and Singh, and again, you just don't want to let these two batters get set in any circumstance, and that's why you could look at a Junaid Masood, who was so good, just giving up the 5 runs in his couple of overs, and even a man like Abdullah Ghazi was economical.
Man, that deep cover's had a lot of work to do, Saeed Abdullah.
It's been smart from the Atlanta Fire. They've understood the fact that, again, if you can't score boundaries against Yasser Muhammad, don't get tied down. Don't let him escape with 2-run overs.
Put down! It was in the air for a long time. Really should have been taken by Sean Finley. Aaron Jones trying to be innovative, trying to go over that infield in the offside, and already seeing Gajan Singh being dropped in that first innings. Went on to cost the Fire. Could this one cost the Cavaliers?
Doesn't get more regulation than that. He's backpedaling the whole way, but was never over him. Looks like his hands came together before the ball ever got there. Huge drop.
Another chance, another chance. Again, just out of the reach. This one a lot tougher. Crucial boundary.
Yeah, almost cruel to call this a possible chance. Had to make a lot of room to his left, and still, even then, had the Superman dive, and I still think it was out of his reach. Moving awfully a long way out of his stumps, Obis Pinar, to lift it into that region. And again, well out of the reach of Syed Abdullah.
Seeing some of that ball just gripping in the surface. End of the over, 72 for 3. Nine overs remaining in this contest. Fire need 10 and over. At least a boundary every over if they're to get over the line from here. Mohammed has a couple. There was some debate. Gajan Singh wanted to bowl a second over. Instead, they've opted to go for Patel, who we've already seen have ability to spin it both ways. Mixes up those wrist spin deliveries with a few finger spin options. So how does Pinar play this situation? He's 28 from 20.
Yeah, well, we've seen from Sunny Patel when bowling to these two, he's opted to go more finger spin, looking to pull the length back, not let Pinar go over extra cover. The one time he did go with the back of the hand, it was hit into that very region of the ground.
Starts well.
And the length is going to be awfully important. We mentioned it already. Anything full to Pinar that's not in the block hole is almost destined for the boundary.
Yeah, 50 partnership has come up as well. Taking 41 deliveries though.
When you talk about when they came in, 41 doesn't matter too much. They needed to do that. When they got in, 28 for 3. When that wicket fell, and since then have been able to steady the ship and get the Fire into position where the game is still evenly poised.
Chance, Lewis takes it easily. Jones has given it away. And that drop catch in the last over doesn't cost the Cavaliers too much. Huge wicket partnership broken.
Just looking to go down the ground, but the key is into the wind. They had just stationed Kennard Lewis into that region, who made it look awfully simple. Get another look, it's pitched up. But all he could do was pick out Kennard Lewis into the wind, never going to be easy. And Aaron Jones, after being given a life, gives it right back. Now we'll bring in Jamar Hamilton. You mentioned it earlier, Nico. Has a 50 this season, earlier in the year, but as of late, has just been struggling for runs. Hasn't looked at his fluid best. Best that I've seen him in terms of minor league cricket would have been in Morrisville during that finals weekend where he was smashing the ball around. This season, strike rate 126, 121 runs, again, the majority of those earlier in the year. So it's going to be important for him to build this partnership with Obis Pinar.
Yeah, it really has been a tough season for him. He got that 56 unbeaten against the Galaxy in the very first game of the tournament. Since then, though, he's only averaged about 9 in the 9 innings he's batted. Of course, he's a lot of times come in at 6 and 7 and just had to go from ball 1. This time different, though. Problem for the Fire, not only have they just lost the wicket, Jones went at less than a run a ball, so it means that the asking rate is 10.5 and over. Off the mark straight away.
It's going to be important here from Jamar Hamilton running. What running this is. Barely an opportunity there. Sunny Patel whipped it back and it got through the backup. But this is what's going to be the key, I think, for Jamar Hamilton. Oftentimes, even in situations where he needed to stay in, he's just thrown his wicket away. He's looked to hit it too early. Here's going to be about tucking, running for 2, running hard. Good to see from ball 1.
Again, just dying on him as he went through to him, and that's the surface. That's why the Cavaliers opted to bat first. And these two will be thinking 15th over. If they get to the 15th over, even if we need 60 off the last 5, they'll bat themselves knowing they have Cornet dry. Still to come. I was quite surprised that Jones opted to play that shot. It was there, but didn't execute. 75 for 4. We are at Prairie View Cricket Complex, field number 6. It is a must-win game for these two teams. Straight semi-final. The winner goes on to play in the final on Sunday at the Grand Prairie Stadium in Dallas. Hope to have your company then. Tickets starting at just $5. It's an experience you don't want to miss. Mohammed, short in the gap. Second time Pinar's gone big in the leg side. He's got runs, 6 of them to start.
We mentioned it earlier, this is just seemed to be a flaw in the mechanics of Yasser Muhammad in his young career. It's just that odd delivery that gets stuck in the hand and goes straight down. Now, Obis Pinar just latches onto it quickly. Far too good to miss out on that, especially with no mid-wicket in the conventional area. Got to get that length back up, Muhammad again. It's just something that's plagued his young career.
Field stays the same. 3 deep fielders on that onside. Goes again. It's gone straight up. Lewis is under it. But again, the wind continues to help it sail over long on. This is powerful. 2 sixes to start the 13th.
Well, it's been the consistent key for Obispinard. He's just so smart. Got it pitched up and knew he was hitting with the wind, so the danger taken out of it, and he's already so strong and powerful, doesn't need much aid. And now Yasser Mohammed's gone for 12 runs straight away. And after that wicket of Aaron Jones, you just felt the Cavaliers might feel that they're back in top of this game. Obispinard says, no thank you, not very much. He's on 40.
Heart would have been in his hand, Obispinard, because Lewis was under that for a long time. Just had enough in the end.
How does Yasser Mohammed respond? He went too short, then went too full. He's got to find that in-between length. There is no sweeper cover. There's a gap there, so don't want to get too wide either.
Yeah, I think if you can get 20 from this over, you've already got 12 from the first 3 deliveries. If you can get another 8 runs, that helps significantly in that asking rate. Oh, gone. Obispinard can't believe it. Possibly the worst delivery Mohammed has bowled today. And Pinar has picked out backward square. What a big wicket. Could that be the game?
A send-off for Obispinard as well from Yasser Mohammed. Just waves at him. And he's disgusted with himself. It's an absolute half-tracker from Yasser Mohammed. It's just cramped Pinar for room and he's picked out the man. Stationed to deep backward square, and then that little wave from Mohammed as Pinar goes off. Could this be the match? Nico, what a game. Ebbing and flowing in either direction. Just when you think the Somerset Cavaliers are well on top, the Fire respond, and then when you think surely the Fire can't mess it up from here, it's the Somerset Cavaliers that just seem to find a way to get back in the game.
And what a time to do it as well for this Cavaliers team. They've had their struggles, they've had ups and downs in this tournament. They're just 8 and some overs away from going on to the final. Jay Pathak comes to the middle, head of Cornet Dry, and you think a lot of the onus now will be on the shoulders of Jamar Hamilton. He had already got the 2 maximums from the over, looking for a third. The delivery was really deserved to be hit for 6. That's the way it goes in cricket sometimes though. With the wind straight to the man.
And I think it was just that little bit of movement back into Pinar that caused him to just roll his hands on over the top of it. And it just went straight down the barrel. And backward square. It's a cruel game, cricket. In one moment, you're hitting 6s all over the place, and the other, you're picking out the fielders. Now the left-handed Jay Pathak hasn't been asked to do much with the bat. He's going to have to facilitate. They've added Ridwan Palash into the 11 as well to give them some extra batting depth. Still Cornet Dry to come. And we've seen Emilio Ponzo the ability to hit the long ball. But the onus is going to be on Jamar Hamilton to get them to that point in the last 2 overs where they feel comfortable chasing that down. 75 still required.
Yeah, Mohammed mentioned he would be important. Oh, and what about that? Stylish leave.
Don't see that too often in T20 cricket, huh, Nico?
Yeah, interesting, but whatever gets the job done. Yeah, this youngster, Aman, just 19 years old, continues to be very impressive. Gets a crucial wicket in that over, the one of Pinar, 87 for 5. Patel will bowl his fourth and final over. Shah looking for a wicket, looking to finish this game. What a shot. Cracking shot from Jamar Hamilton. Gone all the way for 6 as well.
Nikhil, this game keeps ebbing and flowing. Just when you think the Somerset Cavaliers are well on top, the Atlanta Fire do something like this. This is out of the top drawer. Playing it with the spin over the top of extra cover, in and out. What a way to start the over.
It puts Patel under pressure instantly. Hamilton is more than capable. He's already got a half century this season, delivered in the playoffs for this team to book them a spot in the final. Could have the opportunity to rewrite history. I just wonder if, because PNR has now been dismissed, he believes that he must take it on. Jamar Hamilton. They've got Patak, Jai, Ridwan Palash, who they've played today as an extra batting option, but I don't know how much you can depend on them, man.
Yeah, we haven't seen him much through the tournament, and it's going to rely on Jamar Hamilton. The one thing the Atlanta Fire will back is the fact that Jamar Hamilton, someone who has international experience, and he's done it in a similar situation alongside Aaron Jones, had a really big innings in the semifinals last year at Church Street Park. Now is going to have to do the bulk of the run scoring, but again, not a bad option to go and do it.
And for Patat, if you're Patat, the job is simple. How do I find a single? How do I get Jamar Hamilton on strike? Don't need to try anything too expansive.
I'll get it there again. You mentioned, don't need to do anything too expansive. Just find a way to keep strike moving. Get Jamar Hamilton there. Still a lot of runs to be had. 67 more to go. But the Atlanta Fire will believe as long as they do have Jamar Hamilton in the middle.
Very crafty, very smart, and runs. What a critical time to get them as well.
Earlier in the over, we saw Saint Patel get short, and it just jammed Jamar Hamilton as he looked to hit in front of square. This time, learned from it, waited on it, and that line going down the leg side just allowed him to clip it off of his hip, take it over the infield, and pick up 4 runs.
Last over went for 12. Already this one has 12 and a delivery to go. I mentioned 50 off the last 5. You still back yourself. Hamilton will hold the key. He'll know that. No change in the field. 5 legs still up in the circle. Yeah, bat speed again. All goes through him. Misfield, another boundary. Not great. Gajanan Singh was usually a very safe fielder. Nonetheless, it's a big over.
16 come from it, courtesy of this misfield. It's well struck. A lot of room to make for Gajanan Singh, but he's just gone all over it. And Jamar Hamilton exactly what he needed and the Fire needed after that wicket of Obis Pinar. 103 for 5.
Need 10 and over, the Atlanta Fire. Winner go home for these two teams. Winner goes on to Sunday's final. The loser doesn't. And it could come down to Jamar Hamilton. And if they can get that wicket, will be Najaf Shah, the captain, who will bowl his third over. Maybe just a few overs earlier than he would have expected, but he wants that wicket.
Again, I like the aggressiveness from Najaf Shah. He's seeing that it is Jay Pathak on strike as well. If you can't get Jamar Hamilton out, get the wickets around him to fall. Get through Pathak, Palash, Dry, and put so much more pressure on Hamilton. And with this field set, a deep third, deep cover, long off, long on, and a deep mid-wicket, you almost would think about bringing someone in. Don't allow him to take that single, but make him go over the top.
Yeah, there's acreage, a lot of acreage for Pathak. Left-hander, big gap through cover, and the onside as well. Just needs to find a single. Takes it on, went short. That is a big time shot from Jay Pathak.
I don't understand the thought process from Najaf Shah. There's no need to try to bounce out. Jay Pathak misses the line altogether, and Pathak sends it over to his dugout, says, don't worry, it's not just Jamar out here in the middle. I can do that too. If you're Najaf Shah, get back to stumps, make him drive.
Yeah, he answers us, Aman, we're here. We are telling him to get a single. He has other ideas. Key thing though, don't give it away. Cannot get out now. Last 3 overs have been fruitful for this Fireside.
That's better for a Najaf Shah. That's the area you would want to operate. Make Jay Pathak hit you there. It's in the air for a moment, and he wanted Kennard Lewis to put out the dive, the full stop. And now Najaf Shah, the question is, what do you bowl to Jamar Hamilton? How do you elect to take on this man? Short third in place.
Yeah, there was a nick on that. Didn't carry to Katwaru behind the stumps. Came off the bottom of the bat. The run chase is coming out nicely. 2 deliveries to go. They need 52 more. 1 more over. 1 big over from the Fire, and it could be within reach. But 10s, still leaving it in the hands of Cornet Dry, Pathak. Hamilton holds the key, man. For me, Hamilton is the key man in this run chase.
I think he understands that as well, knowing that he's got to just keep himself afloat, keep the runs going. Najaf Shah frustrated though. He wanted that one to be fired in. Now Jay Pathak's got a ball to play. Nikhil, if you're Pathak, are you looking to hit big, or you're just looking to just hold down this end? Don't want to take a single here. Give Hamilton strike.
Yeah, if he gets a short ball like he did earlier in the over, go for it. Fine leg up in the circle, just mid-wicket. Outside the circle, no, they're not going to add another man, so will be mid-wicket and square leg.
Could be the double bluff from Najaf Shah. Could be doing this just to go full.
Well played, Amal.
1 to end the over. 112 for 5. 5 overs to go. They need exactly 50. The Atlanta Fire. In most cases, you back the chasing team to get these runs. However, this is a knockout game, a semi-final. Pressure's on. And the majority of run scores for this Fire team are in the hutch. A lot on Hamilton's shoulders. And also, the plans of Shah may have been altered because he had to bowl that over. Now he's had to go back to Masood. He's just conceded the 4 in his 2.
It was really good on a length early, Masood. We'll see if he continues with that ploy. And again, the message to Batak, get 1. Get Jamar on strike. Lots of room on the leg side.
Couple fielders. Takes it easily. Another wicket falling. And change of bowling works.
Just unable to keep it down, Batak. He had the right idea, looking to push into the onside. But all he could find was skying it up into the air and finding that man coming all the way around from deep mid-wicket. Took it comfortably in the end. And more pressure now onto the Atlanta Fire. What a match we're seeing on display. Nico, not only is that a wicket, it's a dot ball, and it also means Cornet dry.
For Dry, he's one that likes to go after the bowling. He can play it 2 ways. Does he go after it, be aggressive, be fearless, or can he temper that for these next couple of overs and take the game into the last 2? Milind Kumar did it superbly earlier today. Took it to the last over. They needed 9 and got them in the end.
Well, it's a scorcher, not just the day, but this match, this finish. Cornet Dry, great down the ground. And you don't want to get too full because he will take you. And that's why Kenar Lewis is still in the deep. It's a packed leg side field. Long gone. Deep mid-wicket, deep backward square, even a deep fine for the ramp shot that Dry's added to the arsenal.
Not quite ready to go. Yeah, has options. 4 fielders on the leg side. So obvious choice here is pace off and into the pitch. Can go much shorter, just deep cover on the offside. And does go on the offside. Interesting. Dry underway.
Yeah, smart cricket. Didn't look to overhit it, just looking to push. Now this is where we get to see the mental makeup of Jamar Hamilton. What does he like to do? Yes, you want to get this game deep, but over 10 and over required from this stage. Gonna need to find a boundary, at least 1 in the over, to give yourself a chance headed into the final stage.
Yeah, no, right-hander, and he's still opting to keep the same field. So 4 deep on the onside. What a shot. Absolutely golden from Jamar Hamilton. Just played it so late, and there was no fielder square on the boundary.
We so often talk about the power of Hamilton. This time, it's the touch. Given a bit of width, seeing point and third man inside the ring, pierce that gap with ease to find 4. There's different ways to score. So used to the brute force of Jamar Hamilton, expected it to come to Cal corner. This one a deep third.
Does the plan of attack change? Long off, deep cover, same field.
Change the angle though, Nico. Back over the wicket.
have easily shaved the stump. Fine leg is in the circle though. You see why Hamilton is thinking that ramp.
Just a bit of risk because we've seen Masood go pace off and would have to get a pretty decent connection to clear fine leg. Yes, the wind blowing in that direction, but Hamilton's got to be careful with that shot.
Cracking. This is an exhibition of T20 batting from Jamar Hamilton.
Where's this been all season, the Fire will say. This time too short, and again, not looking to overhit the ball. The key here, just place it over the top and help it on its way to the boundary. Jamar Hamilton, that's his second 4 of the over.
Yeah, he's missed his line again, Masood. You don't want to be wide outside the off stump. He's opted to continue without that deep point. It's just too easy for Hamilton. Doesn't need to move a muscle. And pressure builds. The pressure will build now on the Cavaliers. 9 runs from the over, 1 ball to go. And they know if Hamilton stays there, just the danger he brings to the crease. Game could be over sooner rather than later.
And how good is this for the rest of that Fire dugout? They've seen Jamar Hamilton come out, score runs, and now for Cornet Dry, who's stationed at the other end, a lot less on him. If he has to get on strike, feels very comfortable knowing, I just got to get 1. My partner's going to do the rest. If you're Junaid Masood, got to get closer to stumps and got to be a little bit fuller than that. Yes, you're scared of Hamilton hitting you down the ground, but let him hit into the wind off a length.
I'm just requesting a ball. Always tough to find balls that go down into that forest area. It's often overlooked when the change of ball can sometimes be a lot softer and tougher for the batters to hit. Could even be a bit bigger in the hands of the bowler, so it is a different dimension. Cornet Dry wants to have a look at it. Hamilton, he won't care. He wants to see bat on ball and will look to find the boundary again. Or does he look for 1 and try to retain the strike for the next over? Same field, and the ring continues square on the offside. Oh, never mind. Hamilton does care. He wants to see it himself.
I think Cornet Dry convinced him into it. He said, it looked like he said he was okay, and then Lay said, all right, throw it over, throw it over. And Jamar Hamilton seems fine with the ball, gives a nod to Cornet Dry as well. He's just ready to bat.
And just a bit of mind games. More time for the bowler to think. Crucial final delivery of this over. Bowled! Pace off into the pitch, works. That could be the final nail in the coffin. The Cavaliers are elated. 121 for 7. Hamilton is gone.
2 boundaries and then this. We've seen him take pace off all day. Masood plays all around it. Jamar Hamilton and takes off leg stump. And the Cavaliers feel that they got 1 foot in Dallas, in Grand Prairie at the moment.
A gutsy 16th over bowl by Masood, gets 2 wickets, went for 2 boundaries as well. And how the pressure's on. Pressure on big time on this Fire team. Will be up to their former captain in Cornet Dry and Redwan Palash, who's come to the middle today. Come to the 4 today for the Fire. Wasn't included in their last 3 matches. Big time for him and his team from Bangladesh originally, Palash. They still need 41 from 4. It's a hurdle to get over for this Fire team. And will be Ghazi.
Ghazi's bowled well, took that wicket of Nasser Hussain. For Cornet Dry, you figure all the onus is on him now. He's only played the 1 ball. Not easy to get going quickly, but of all the batters left, he's got the best opportunity, you feel, to score at a high rate. We know Emil Alfonso can come in and hit boundaries to finish the game. We've already seen him do that this season against the Baltimore Royals and the Atlanta Lightning.
Yeah, change of ends for Ghazi as well. Bowled his 2 from the highway end in the power play. Or bowled the 5th and 7th over. Now from the forest end. Bit of indecision. Just 1 in the end. Marshall's been all over the floor today. Struggled with that injury. Seems his left foot has affected him, but he still put his body on the line. Made some crucial stops, especially early on.
Here we go now. Ridwan Palash brought into the lineup to give this team some extra batting. Some could have said, what about a Rishi Pandey? Could have looked in other places, but Palash, he's such a key figure for this Fire side. Just a leg by, just a leg by. Good enough for Palash to go and run it. It's hit him high on the leg towards that waist area. But it's going to be about the boundaries and Cornet Dry as Palash goes down.
Yeah, 31 for 3 in that power play. Went at just 5 and over. Lost 3 wickets. Always behind the 8 ball when you lose 3 wickets in a power play. Just haven't got the contribution of runs they would have expected from Simmons and Stephen Taylor. You have that force at the top. Ideally wanting them to win at least 2 games apiece for you. Get a big 50. Taylor's done well with ball in hand, but it's been tough for him to come in straight away after the CPL and straight into the playoffs-like situation.
It's been the Achilles heel all season long for the Atlanta Fire. Just their inability to get something going up top. And they've looked in again, plenty of different directions and no one's put their hand up and taken that onus. You mentioned that, and also it just feels like the Fire, anytime they gain momentum, somehow just seem to relinquish it. Couple boundaries from Obis Pinar, then hits it straight to deep backward square. A couple boundaries from Jamar Hamilton, then cleaned up. Just something that's consistently plagued them throughout this innings, the inability to get the momentum and hang on.
Should just be a single. It's good bowling, really good bowling this from Ghazi. Change of ends, doesn't matter, stuck to the plan well. He's got that protection in the offside and he's forced the batters, all 4 of these deliveries, to hit there.
Need a boundary, just Cornet Dry. Had a reputation with the bat as a big hitter. And not easy on this surface, not with the length that Ghazi's bowling. You mentioned it, so consistent. But to give yourself a chance, you need one.
Wow! That's mammoth from Cornet Dry, out of nowhere, maximum. Game still on.
It's the one time we've seen Ghazi miss his length. Just got too full, and Cornet Dry waited for that one and sends it over the rope. The boundary that they so desperately needed. Again, right in the hitting arc. They would hit with the wind. Picks up 6 runs, and the Fire still have a chance in this one. 31 needed with 1 ball left. And another new ball being brought on, Nico.
Yeah, the Fire hopes riding on the back of Cornet Dry. 31 runs away Can he find 3 sixes? I'm on 3 sixes. And leave them with just 12. Teams often aim for about 4 to 5 sixes in the last 5. If he can find 3 maximums, and he's got the long levers as well, if they go into the pitch again, he can still find or clear the ropes. Goes full. Good result, just 1. End of the over, 132 for 7. Three overs remaining in this contest. Masood, who got the double strike in the last over, will continue and bowl his 4th and final. So it likely will be Masood, Ghazi and Shah to close out this innings. Could all be all seam. Corner Joy will be thinking boundary. Now plays it safe for that first delivery.
Yeah, well watched from Masood. It's why he's been so good. How he picked up that wicket of Jamar Hamilton. Has been so watchful of the batters, mixes it up well. And you mentioned it's just a couple more sixes, and that brings the game back. And Balash has shown the ability to get 1. If he can continue to do that, find the odd boundary. The fire not out of it yet, ladies and gentlemen.
Once an extra man in the circle, Najaf Shah for Palash. Ups against it. He's got it in the gap. It's well hit. Should be 2 and is. Yeah, Dre's got those long strides. Was able to get back quite safely. Have no fielder in the circle on the onside besides fine leg. So almost daring Palash. They're happy with 1 at this stage. Need over 10s.
Good from Ridwan Palash, just able to turn the wrist into the onside. If it gets in that region, they gotta take off quick.
Fired in, it's gone past the keeper. I think Masood is trying to argue that Palash wasn't trying to play a shot. He's given leg byes though.
You'll take runs any way they get them. Looking to attack the legs of Palash, who came down the track. It just caught a bit of him on the way through. Luckily, it is not a wide, but 4 runs nonetheless for the Atlanta Fire.
Yeah, didn't need to do that though, because he's gone straight at the body to both these batters, and he's been hard to hit to the boundary. You've got fine leg in the circle, so it is quite a risk. Katwaru's been tidy behind the stumps, but couldn't stop that with a deviation. Lewis under this one, should be taken, and is easily taken. Another one bites the dust. 8 down now.
Slower ball works again for Junaid Masood. Slowed it down, and Ridwan Palash couldn't help himself. Hitting into the breeze once again. And Kanar Lewis once again. No problem from him on the boundary. And the Atlanta Fire, like we said, as soon as it feels like they might be getting something going, they just seem to throw it away. See Balash there, hits the helmet hits the bat with the helmet. Just knowing that's not the shot to play.
Fourteen deliveries remain in this innings, and Amila Aponzo comes to the middle. Bowled well today, left arm spinner. not unfamiliar with bat in hand. He's played a few valuable innings over the years for this fireside. But you think a lot on the shoulders of Cornet Dry.
And the one thing that Emilio Ponzo's got to do, he loves hitting to cow corner. Not from this end of the ground. The wind is pushing it back. Don't try to take the slower one from outside the off stump. He's been much better with the bat in hand this year. Emilio, couple match-winning innings, needs one here.
Oh, what a stop. Marshall again it is. Struggled with that injury, but he has made some electric stops at that cover and point region.
That one seemed destined for the boundary off the bat. Without that hand, could have been 2 more runs. And Xavier Marshall, again, a valiant effort. Struggling with the ankle, with that left leg. And even with that in the circle, has been such a wall.
Way too easy. Missed badly, full toss. Who said this game was over? Boundary to end the over. 145. They need 17 off the last 2.
There's no need for this. Went for the Yorker, went for the glory ball. And Emilio Ponzo good enough to help it around the corner with fine leg inside the ring. And an easy way to close out the over.
Captain Najaf Shah will bowl the most important penultimate over. How many can Dry get from this over? He's on strike. Does he opt to give Ponzo the strike? Just hit a 4 to end that last over. Going down to the wire this one. Start slower delivery. Dry trusts him. And you think anything less than 10 in the last over, if these 2 are still there, they'll take that to fire.
I think that's why you're not going to see any of these 2 look to overhit. That 4 does so much to the pressure of these last 2 overs. Just 16 left to get. Get a couple singles. The odd boundary, bring it to single digits. And if Emilio Ponzo gets one in the zone, he's going to send it over cow corner. Got to be careful with that line and length, but don't look for these 2 to be ultra aggressive here in the penultimate.
3 deep on the onside. Bowled. Yorker nailed to perfection by Captain Shah. That could be the game.
This is what Najaf Shah does best. It's that Yorker. That's why he saved an over of himself for this stage of the game. Went full, went straight. Ponzo played all around it. And as you rightly mentioned, Nico, this could be the game. Because Najaf Shah's delivered when it matters most. And the Cavs are 1 wicket away from Grand Prairie. A lot rides on this young man who's walking into the middle. Athinder Subramanian hasn't been asked to do really anything with the bat this season. He's going to be asked to find a way to get a single off of Najaf Shah.
Yes, the risk you run when you take a single off the first ball if you're Cornet Dry. Trust Ponzo. If he gets out, then a new batter comes to the middle. The last man in the Subramanian, and he's got a full 4 deliveries at him.
And Yasser Muhammad's pumped up. You can see him welcoming Subramanian to the middle. I wonder if you're just going to see the Somerset Cavaliers close this field. Let Subramanian beat him over the top. but not gonna let him get Cornet dry back on strike. The wicket's back inside the ring. It's still a deep cover. Long off as well.
Oh, wow. Was almost that wicket. Went full straight and at the stumps. A narrow miss. You can just feel tension, pressure on.
Cornet dry, I think, would just say to Subramanian, just push it away. Don't look for that big drive. Keep it off the stumps. Give me a chance, even if it's 16 from the last. You know Najaf Shah is going to look to be bowl full, bowl straight. You miss, I hit situation.
Yeah, critically gets Dry on strike. Now surely Dry will face all of these 9 deliveries. He's got 9 balls to find 16 runs. Come on, Aman. 2 6s and a 4. 3 6s. Or 1 delivery if you're a Cavs fan.
We've seen both these guys in this type of situation. Najaf Shah has closed out innings for his side in years past. If you're Cornet Dry, you'd back on some of those innings at the Padamveers Cricket Complex back in Atlanta, where he was able to hit some late boundaries. You have to imagine Najaf Shah is going to pull the length back. Don't want to miss the Yorker to Cornet Dry.
I went for it. Really sized him up. I've seen 6s down the ground with that wind factor assisting. The length will be critical. I think he will be better off going full and wide here. Doesn't really have the feel for it with point and third in the circle. He's got enough reach with his long levers, Cornet Dry, to find that maximum down the ground.
This game's ebbed and flowed, and right now everything's with the Somerset Cavaliers. It almost feels like it's waiting for the fire to grab it back.
Just 1. Will retain the strike. He'll be 14 from the final over, 148 for 9. One over to go. Will be Ghazi to bowl the final over. Last over went for 11. They need 14. And Dry will face all 6 of these deliveries. Who could have asked for better entertainment? 2 teams fighting for a spot in the grand finale.
Whoever gets through the Grand Prix will have earned it. There's no doubt about that, Nikhil. And for Cornet Dry, cow corners into the wind. That's where he's looking to go. If you're going to get it through there, you're going to get it past Kenar Lewis, you have to crush it.
I'm thinking down the ground now, man. If he goes length, down the ground. And that's what Dry is thinking too. But man is there. Mohammed puts it down. And they have to come back for the second. It's 12 from the last 5.
Yasir Mohammed doesn't drop many. He took 2 phenomenal catches to get the Cavs to this very point. Cornet Dry knew it off the bat. Yasir Mohammed did all the hard yards and puts it down. Pressure. That's what pressure does. Fire not out of it yet.
Yeah, if he wants to go short, he has to be really short. That's the in-between length. Drive may not miss again. A lot of acreage straight behind the bowler. Picks him up. Does it have enough? It doesn't. Man under it. This time takes it. The Cavaliers are into the final of the Minor League 2023 season. From nowhere, they have battled back. What a victory. What a team. And what a final we have on our hands on Sunday. The Fire come up short. It's Najaf Shah and his men who will be storming in to Dallas.
Survived once, didn't survive again. And this is what the Cavs have done all year long. They fought so valiantly. In vain, Cornet Dry goes and bats. They exchanged a word with Yasser Mohammed, who said to me before this week, said after they beat Empire State late in the season, they felt that there was no doubt they were getting to the final. And what a way to get there.
All roads lead to the Grand Prairie Stadium. It was a slow start in that power play, but Gajanan Singh's 75 became the difference maker. The Fire will look back on that bowling performance and think they really gave it away. But still, just 11 runs separating the two teams. A valiant effort. Look at the smiles, the jubilation on the faces of Kenner Lewis and his men. Lewis defeats his former side. And the Cavaliers win by some 11 runs. What scenes, Aman. What a day of cricket.
What a day of cricket indeed. Blessed with 2 last ball finishes, or very nearly that. And again, the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers, they are through to the final at Grand Prairie. We're going to get the Mustangs and the Cavaliers. Nico, welcome back to Minor League.
Thank you very much, Aman. In terms of that final on Sunday, the Mustangs will be the team to beat at home. But this Cavaliers side, they've got a few match winners. You think about Lewis, Gajanan Singh, who we saw today, finally back in the runs. And then with ball in hand, they can take pace off. Pinar and Jones, that was the partnership. Pinar got 41 in quick time. Hamilton struck at 200. But in the end, got a delivery just to move off the surface, and that was all she wrote. 150 is all they could muster. And it means that the Cavaliers are into the final. 4 wickets for Masood. It was the standout. Bowled some critical overs in the power play, the back end. 2 apiece from Shah and Ghazi. And Patel and Mohammed, the 2 spinners, 1 apiece for them. They deserve it, the Cavaliers. We'll see them on Sunday. Don't miss it. It's happening at 7 p.m. local time. It'll be Cavaliers and Mustangs in the final. We'll see you then.
Does that want to beat the outside edge? It'll also beat the man with the gloves. It'll be 4 runs. Can't do that.
Takes it on, went short. That is a pick.
Room on the leg side.
Season from nowhere, they have battled back.
You're watching the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship, brought to you by our 2023 partners.